Adrian, well, it all comes down to this, the end of a 3.5-year journey embarked upon by more than 200 countries, and which culminates tonight in Lusail. For nearly every participant, dreams of glory were fanciful, but lying within some of their respective journeys came the unfathomable, the unforgettable, and sometimes the barely comprehensible. Amidst the failures and the qualified successes, the historic and heroic, and matches which have been worthy additions to the rich heritage of nearly a century of footballing conflict. But all roads have led here to the 929th and final game, the one that will ultimately dictate who has the right to call themselves the champions of the world. It's been a long way for Argentina, 36 years since their last Maradona-inspired success under the sultry sun of Mexico City. A year almost to the day after that triumph in the central provincial city of Rosario came the birth of a man who became the heir to Maradona's throne. And tonight Lionel Messi embarks on his 26th and final World Cup game, hoping to add the prize to the plaudits. Since their last Argentine success, France have experienced glory twice, the defining moments of French football history coming 20 years apart, with Didier Deschamps as captain and then manager, and he now hopes for a personal hat-trick. Nobody's retained the trophy since 1962, and Les Bleus stand on the brink of history. This is the side they've named: Lloris in goal, Koundé, Varane, Upamecano and Theo Hernandez, Rabiot and Chouameni, Griezmann at 10, and a front three of Dembele, Giroud and Mbappe. Argentina name an 11 that have never started together before. Emi Martinez in goal. The back four: Molina, Romero, Otamendi and Tagliafico. Enzo Fernandez anchors the midfield, De Paul and McAllister either side of him, and a front three of Di Maria and Alvarez wide of Messi as a false nine. Well, it's a night for glory, and it's when the stakes are at their highest that the greats and the good are separated. A night when global icons clash, and the prize is footballing immortality. The world champions seeking to defend their crown, the South American champions aiming to depose them and claim that title for themselves. It is France against Argentina, and the 2022 World Cup final is underway. Even in the context of the game's showpiece event, Stuart Pearce, this could be a game for the ages.
Well, I think it's in the balance, this game. There's no doubt it'll be the team that settles into it the best, the first, the ones that take their opportunities. But it's a real difficult one to call. You know, I personally would think Argentina has shown me a little bit more leading into it, Jim, but it's split really. Depends who you talk to, where favouritism lies.
Argentina in their blue and white striped shirts, kicking from left to right. The two World Cup finals that they've won, they have played in their home kit. The two that they've lost since then, they have played in a change kit, and many see that as an omen. France in their kit of all blue, much darker blue these days, and they're kicking from right to left as we look at it, with Argentina in possession and Romero, who's had an outstanding tournament, the heart of the Argentinian defence, laying it back for Otamendi, who wins his 100th cap tonight, and he in turn back for Emi Martinez, who gave himself a little bit of thinking time before chipping it forward. He didn't get it to halfway, and the French can pick it up and lay it down for Hernandez. And he will work it back to Upamecano, and as he does so, Rabiot is caught by the ball off the ball, and it's a free kick on halfway to the French, and protestations from Rabiot that it should be a yellow card for the Argentinian midfielder. Simon Marciniak will have a word with Rabiot to calm him down, only a cursory word and a wag of the finger for De Paul, and we're back underway again.
It's that level of refereeing. You know, that sort of incident will probably, by another referee on another match, just be totally ignored.
Argentina have a throw over on the left flank, and they've taken it quickly, and here's the first contribution from Messi. He's done well to scoop a ball down towards the far corner flag. Di Maria hooking it back inside the penalty area. It's headed down, and De Paul will be able to pick it up on the edge of the box. Messi gives it back to him, flicked over the top. Alvarez trying to get one in on the turn, didn't really make contact, was offside anyway. But Argentina getting in behind the French back line, giving them something to think about, and already they've tried to isolate what you perceive as being the weakness in this French defensive line. That's the left-hand side.
Yeah, I think continually in games that have been in the balance, Jim, that this left-hand side of the French back line, left centre back, left back, has been a problem, and sadly for the French, that's where Messi likes to gravitate.
Well, it's interesting that Argentina are actually playing with the front three slightly differently to what many anticipated, and slightly differently to how they've set up those three before in this tournament, with Messi on the right, Alvarez going through the middle, Di Maria on the left, where he has played on the right so far. The free kick is given up at Meccano, climbing high and clattering into Messi, who was a picture of whirling arms, and just caught Messi on the back of the head. The free kick goes Argentina's way. Breathless opening 3.5 minutes, with the goalkeeper having a shot to save in anger. And Argentina have it out the back with the impressive Enzo Fernandez, who's dropping in and splitting the two centre-halves, very much playing in the anchor role in that midfield, and the way that he engages Griezmann could be one of the keys to potential Argentine success today. Long Romero crossfield ball, neatly controlled on the shoulder by Di Maria, flicked on again by Alexis McAllister, and towards the Argentina left touchline. Di Maria chasing after it, goes out of play for a throw. And a throw that has been taken very quickly by Argentina, playing at a good tempo so far in a game that, as we mentioned in the build-up, is between two sides who don't necessarily want to have the majority of possession, but they don't want to give it away like that. Theo Hernandez is presenting it straight to Messi. De Paul able to make his way forward, long diagonal from him, headed away by Koundé, the French right back, who is a converted centre-half. He's given it away though, Alvarez with a nice touch, and the shot comes in from distance, which is comfortably claimed by Lloris. Alexis McAllister with the first effort on target of the final, but it remains 0-0 with 5 gone.
Yeah, Argentina looking as though they've got that confidence, swagger about their play at this moment in time, with plenty of width on the left-hand side with Di Maria, and they've tried that diagonal on about 3 or 4 occasions now.
Have scored first in all 6 of their games out here. Argentina haven't conceded a single goal before half-time up to this point. Tchouaméni, wearing 8 for France, playing the ball forward out of the right flank, where it's hurriedly recycled and worked back for Rafa Varane. Varane will bring it to about 10 yards away from the edge of the centre circle and play down towards the left-hand side for Hernandez. Hernandez trying to ride the challenge of Enzo Fernandez. Biggest game of his life at the age of just 21. Biggest game in the life of all of these Argentinians, with the exception of Messi, who's played in the final before. Now another free kick is given. Messi the guilty party this time. Theo Hernandez almost taking liberties in possession, the ball running away from him, but Messi shoved him over, and the free kick is taken by France about 10 yards inside their own half. You're with Talk Sport. We brought you live commentary of all 64 games on the Talk Sport network. This number 64, and the biggest of the lot, is 0-0 with 6 gone. And here's the former England captain, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, at this moment in time, France are doing very little to confirm to me that they've settled into the game and have a gay abandon about their play, looking very nervous and tentative in their passing across the line.
And they're setting up the defence in the same way that they have done recently as well, with Koundé playing out right back in a 4, but Theo Hernandez on the left is the full-back that is given much more licence to push forward, and often they just drop naturally into a 3 out of possession. Another foul, this one Alvarez on Rabiot. It's been a bit scrappy, both sides trying to set an early marker down. There's been a few niggling challenges in the early stages, and whenever a player from either side is caught, he makes sure that the referee realises that is the case. Moran's able to bring him forward here and hit a high angle ball down towards Theo Hernandez, cleared by Molina down the Argentine right, and Messi will be able to pick it up again, and he's threaded it through beautifully. Good run ahead of him came from McAllister. He's got Di Maria to his left-hand side. Now Alvarez has made his way into the penalty area. Dembele back in defensive duty for France, has tracked Di Maria every step of the way. Back he comes for Enzo Fernandez. He's given it away, then wins it back, flicking out a right foot to get it away from Griezmann, and that found Alvarez. Played in by Di Maria. De Paul on the edge of the penalty area. Sets up to shoot, and it's deflected off Varane and goes wide for a corner.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at a French side that looks shaken. I really am, and I'm looking at an Argentinian side that just keep rolling on game after game. You know exactly what's coming, and they just growing in confidence for me, Argentina.
First bit of real intense noise in the stadium since kickoff. Breathing this first set-piece opportunity for the Argentinians. Messi, who's already got 3 assists to his name in this tournament, spotting the ball down on the corner quadrant. And he's got 6 in blue and white to try and hit inside the penalty area. It's a left-footed in-swinging delivery towards the near post. Griezmann easily swept it away. Back in towards Messi again, as it was the Paul that picked up the clearance. Messi doing well to maintain possession and get away from Mbappe. Paul angling a high ball in. It's come off the top of Romero's head. High up in the air, almost as high as one of the Lusail towers, and then out comes the goalkeeper Lloris. He got caught and has stayed down injured inside the 6-yard box. French fans behind that goal protesting vehemently, and a free kick has been given France's way, and referee Marciniak will come across to judge the severity of the problem. There's carnage inside the 6-yard box for a while. It looked as though there was a push by Giroud at one stage as well on Alvarez, and then Lloris came out as he jumped for the ball. He was given a right old-fashioned shove in the ribs by Romero.
Yeah, Rabiot got an initial really good header on the first one. It just went straight up in the air, and from that he's looking round for his goalkeeper to come and bail him out, and Lloris decided to stay at home.
Well, in the last 7 World Cups, the defending champions have only got past the quarterfinals once, which shows what an achievement it has been for Hugo Lloris and co. to get through to a second successive final. The last 2 holders to have played in the final have both been beaten. It was Argentina in 1990 when they lost to West Germany, and Brazil 8 years on when they lost and were well beaten by France in Saint-Denis. So 24 years ago, the first French triumph. Lloris is still down receiving treatment, and this is a real concern. Getting a clattering to the ribs as he came out and jumped for it. Didier Deschamps is having a word with the 4th official, Ismail Al-Fat from the United States. He's seen the incident again. He's not happy that this goalkeeper wasn't given more protection and that there was no subsequent card shown to Romero. Lloris, having had a nice pack applied and a couple of minutes of treatment, he's back on his feet. We've got a veteran on the bench as well, Steve Mandanda, the former Palace goalkeeper, who is on the French bench for the 124th time tonight. He's won 35 caps, but has been an unused substitute 124 times over the years. I doubt he even got up and put his gloves on. He would have seen it all so much from that vantage point down on the bench that he would have correctly assessed that Lloris was going to be okay. He's back on his feet, the French skipper, who's leading his country tonight for the 121st time. He has a chance for a piece of World Cup history as well. If he's on the winning side, he'll have won a 12th successive World Cup game, and nobody's ever managed that before. Argentina have got possession on the edge of their own penalty area, working back for their goalkeeper, Emi Martinez of Aston Villa. Just very calmly bring the ball under control and walk it from the edge of the 6-yard box to the penalty spot. Now Enzo Fernandez puts it for some 50-60 yards, trying to get Argentina up through the gears. Alvarez is chasing, and Varane hit it back for Lloris, who got it forward hurriedly. One back by Molina in the midfield. Fernandez to his right-hand side for De Paul, and then Messi dropping into pockets of space again, chipping one out towards Di Maria. Left-footed ball in, looking for Messi, who later run towards the edge of the area, but the sliding challenge to Schramm, and he got it away. Messi stretching again. Alvarez will chase after it and chase down the clearance. Used his hand, according to the referee. Teo Hernandez relieved. All Argentina through the opening 12 minutes at 0-0.
Yeah, they're just not letting France settle at all. They're pressing really well. Little niggly little challenges when the ball leaves, and just unhinging France. And as I say, they can't get any rhythm in the game, and every time Argentina turn the ball over, there's cutting edge about their play.
And this is something that you and I have talked about extensively over the last month, the ability of some sides to be able to press from the front, and the panic that it can cause opposition defenders, and we're seeing that again today. It's been exposed on a number of occasions that France aren't comfortable with Upamecano and Teo Hernandez and the goalkeeper as well, to an extent, and Argentina have done their homework and are trying to expose that Achilles heel here.
Yeah, I think teams are so used to playing out from the back with no pressure on at all, as soon as any pressure comes, there's a big problem and panic coming.
Now France have a first look at the Argentine box, and it's Mbappe that's got it on the corner of the penalty area, flicking in cleverly, going for the return ball from Rabiot, but his run was very well marshalled by Molina and made sure that he stayed goal side of Mbappe in between him and the ball, and it ends up in the hands of Emi Martinez. 13 gone, it's 0-0 in the 2022 World Cup final. On TalkSport, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce talking you through the action. Adrian Durham presenting our coverage. Declan McCarthy, our in-stadium producer, along with James Larvin, our engineer, vital parts of the team, with great statistical support as well from Johnny Blaine and Dave Wallace back home. Argentina bringing the ball again into a shooting position with Messi, edge of the D, Messi flicking it forward, it went behind Alvarez Di Maria, able to pick it up but in an offside position. And it will be a free kick which will be taken by France inside their box. 14 gone, 0-0 it remains. France won the last meeting of these two on their way to lifting the trophy back in 2018. 7-goal thriller in Kazan. Kylian Mbappe scoring a couple that day. Angel Di Maria recalled to the Argentinian side today, also on target then. France went 1-0 up, 2-1 down, and then scored 3 goals in an 11-minute spell to ultimately win the game. It is the first time that France have played in this Lusail iconic stadium, which has become Argentina's second home here in Qatar. It's the 5th game out of their 7 that have been here. Turn the ball through the midfield again with McAllister. McAllister out to the Argentinian left. Work back by Tagliafico. Inside the centre circle, Enzo Fernandez, who's destined for great things at the age of 21. Molina, back for Romero. Otamendi, former Manchester City man, brings it forward and into French territory. 0-0 still, with just one shot on target which came from McAllister and saved easily by Lloris. Fernandez turning the ball away from Giroud, who has become the oldest outfield player to feature in the World Cup final for 60 years today. Now Romero, 5 yards inside his own half as he clips one on the bounce at the Tagliafico on the left. And Di Maria's dropped deep and picked up possession and worked it back inside his own half again. It's Argentina with the lion's share of possession at the moment. Try and mix it up with another crossfield ball. We've seen plenty of them, but it was too far ahead of Molina. And it goes out of play for a throw on the French left, well inside their own half. 16 gone. It's Argentina 0, France 0, with the South Americans clearly the happier of the two teams. They settled the better.
Yeah, certainly are. The one thing I like about the Argentinians, every time they turn possession over, they play a forward pass where they can, either through the lines or a diagonal, and I like that about their play. If it runs aground at any given stage, anywhere on the pitch, they'll just come back and recycle it and go out the other side.
That's how Hernandez trying to play a ball through the midfield. Got it wrong, it hit the ball. Messi back for the ball inside the area. It's back just past Messi. Di Maria comes onto it and skies a presentable opportunity over the bar. And it all came after a defensive error from Theo Hernandez.
Yeah, once again, point in case on a couple of occasions there. The French giving it away on their left-hand side, and as soon as there's a turnover, the Argentinians come after you. They go straight for you and creating a really good chance if it wasn't for Di Maria getting over the top of the ball.
There's certainly been a zest from the Albi Celeste in the early stages. The better of the two teams. France hanging in there. There's a French side who've won 5 of the last 6 games, but clean sheets have been difficult for them. They've only had 2 in a dozen matches. The last of those coming in the semi-finals against Morocco here on Wednesday. Is Varane in possession? Varane's 20 yards inside his own half. They shaped to play the ball long over the top for creation, but he plays it in towards Dembélé instead. Perhaps hasn't quite done himself justice in this tournament so far. No better way than to have a good game today. Mbappe, back for Hernandez. Deputising at left back for his injured older brother Lucas Hernandez, who started the last World Cup final. And it's the younger brother that does today. Koundé, Dembélé. From Koundé to Dembélé again. He's had to stretch to keep it in. He's managed it. And a right-footed cross is blocked easily by the retreating Alexis McAllister, who's covered an awful lot of ground so far. And it's gone out of play for a throw that will be taken on the French right. It's saw a tweet earlier today from a Brighton fan website that pointed out that first time that France won the World Cup in 1998, Brighton were second bottom of the entire Football League. Now they've got a player in the World Cup final. And McAllister have got some defending to do here. As France bring it forward with Hernandez, that is where he can cause real problems to the opposition. And De Paul went with him, Paul beat him, and then Romero came in and handed him off. There was a hand round the side of Fernandez's face to give a free kick to France, about a yard from the left-hand side of the box and 3 yards from the dead ball line. Really good chance here, Stuart.
It certainly is. As I say, just looking, is there a pullback on from where we are? We're about 3 metres from the touchline, right on the edge of the box.
Griezmann, the player standing over it. That potential pullback is to Hernandez. Griezmann chipping it in, and the header at the far post goes over the bar. And Giroud is claiming that he was being pushed to the ground. He's leant over his man. In the end, very much off balance as he got his head to it. Good climb from Giroud, 2 Argentinian players right in front of him. I think it was Di Maria that just stooped to knock Giroud off balance, and he couldn't keep his effort down.
You've got to say that might be one of their best ways forward of hurting the Argentinians. With Giroud, certainly showed a great aptitude to want to get on the end of that one.
Well, France have taken the lead in their last 2 World Cup finals by now. When 1-0 up against Croatia at this stage of the game 4 years ago. They scored a very early one, you'll remember, against Italy in 2006 with that Zidane Panenka penalty that hit the underside of the bar and just went over the line. It took them almost half an hour to find the breakthrough in the game against Brazil back in 1998. It was a very pedestrian start to that World Cup final. It hasn't been here. Argentina the better team through the opening 20 minutes, which are still goalless. And Messi able to pick up possession. He's got Molina to his right-hand side. He's got 3 French players around him when he picks it up. He's able to feed Molina, who will take a touch and work it back towards Rodrigo De Paul. Past the 50 cap mark earlier in the tournament. Otamendi, who reaches 100 today, to Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez gets it back from his centre-half. He's put under pressure from Griezmann, but not telling pressure, and he could just play the way that he faced, back towards Romero. And Fernandez now can turn. Giroud has poked it through the midfield and then helped intelligently by Alvarez back out to the Argentinian left, where Di Maria can shape up and beat Koundé. Now he's inside the penalty. He's got the ground, and he's got a penalty. A potential for first blood to Argentina. Angel Di Maria back in the starting lineup, getting the better of Dembele, who protests his innocence. One number 11, far too swift for the other. It was a brilliant turn, and then Dembele put his hand on Di Maria's back. He felt the contact. He went to ground very readily. VAR will have a look at it, but the initial decision is a penalty, and Messi has a chance for a bit of history.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it's the hand contact or maybe the right leg of Dembele that had some form of contact. Be interesting to see what VAR make of this.
Well, Lionel Messi strides forward with the ball in his hand. He's taken 28 penalties in his time for Argentina and has missed 5 of them, including 1 in this tournament. Referee Marciniak goes back and has a word with Hugo Lloris. What a big moment this is. There was an inevitability that Lionel Messi was going to have a major part to play in this his final ever World Cup game, and that part to play comes midway through the first half. Trying to do what he's done so many times in his career, but never will it have meant as much. Messi, left-footed, sends the keeper the wrong way. Messi scores. Argentina lead. Messi has his moment of history. The first player ever to score in every single round of one World Cup. And is that the moment that could propel him and Argentina to the top of the world?
Well, for the first 20 minutes or so, Argentina have absolutely battered battered France, to be fair. Every time they've got it, they've shown cutting edge, and the only thing that we've gained by this first 20 minutes is the fact of France potentially could concede a lot more goals than this. You never know, this goal might spur them into getting on the front foot slightly, but defensively they're looking very shaky. But credit to the Argentinians, they have been magnificent.
Well, he just waited for Lloris to commit himself. The Frenchman died to his right. Messi worked it the other way. That's goal number 6 of the tournament for him. He's got a stranglehold on the golden boot. But much more importantly, Argentina have a deserved lead just past the midway stage of the first half. And all they have to do is keep a clean sheet from here to be crowned the world champions for the first time since 1986. But of course, it was Lionel Messi. Who else was it going to be to break the deadlock in this World Cup final? Argentina 1, France 0.
They've literally dominated the centre of midfield, Argentina, and I think that's where the battle's been won. They've dominated it, and when they've turned the ball over, they're playing passes through lines brilliantly.
So France have to come out of themselves now. They are happy when they don't have possession, but what they've got to do is try and chase the game. Messi moves level with Pelé on 12 World Cup goals as he hopes to lift his trophy for the very first time. And Deschamps and Co have problems because this is an Argentinian side that have only conceded 5 in the last 11 games. They've built their success around their ability to keep things tight at the back. In Emi Martinez, they've got a goalkeeper who's only conceded 10 goals. And this is his 26th international appearance. France up against it. Second best so far. They have a throw, Varane taking it. Maybe a suspicion of that being a foul throw actually, but play continues with Upamecano, Fanny Rabiot. Rabiot's 15 yards inside his own half as he brings the ball forward. Chouamani, Dembele. One back easily in the midfield after another poor touch from Rabiot. Enzo Fernandez, the beneficiary of that. Tagliafico will make his way forward. Di Maria, who's had a really lively start of the game, has just conjured up a brilliant turn to get away from Dembele. France though do win it back. Giroud playing it out towards Dembele again, who stops when he hears the whistle because Giroud has been fouled. And it's a free kick in a central position right at the limit of range. It's about 13-14 yards outside the penalty area, right of centre. Giroud upended as France look for a near immediate response. 1-0 Argentina.
Yeah, the one thing the Argentinians do, if there's a hint of danger on their goal, they're quite happy to give a foul away to stop momentum and get players behind the ball, and that's probably exactly what they did then.
When you consider that only 2 goals have been scored from direct free kicks in the entire tournament, it's a play in the odds. Griezmann takes the free kick, but the referee says no. Blew his whistle just as it was played in, because there was some pushing and shoving going on the edge of the penalty area, and one of the Argentinian players, it was Fernandez, went down as a result of that. And Giroud, some 15 years his senior, looks down at him with an accusatory expression. And Fernandez is back on his feet. Did he make the most of it? Just seeing a red card. Not much. He's gone down holding his face. There was no contact with his face. So Griezmann will try again. And will clip this in left-footed. Giroud making a run for him. Can't get around the back of Romero. Cleared out for Hernandez, who heads it back in. Another clash on the edge of the box, and the referee's forced to stop play because both players involved have gone down with head injuries. I think it's Enzo Fernandez again. Is it, or is it... It's Messi, in fact, who's down. And Messi caught there by Theo Hernandez, who went in very strongly. Messi really not the tallest, and Hernandez leaning into him and caught him around the side of the face.
Both players down, but make no mistake, both will be up very shortly. And France have got to find a way of getting back into this game. At the moment, the central midfield area is being absolutely dominated, by their ability of Argentina, but more importantly, more numbers in there. And when I look in the central midfield area, you've just got Rabiot and Chouamani in there against 3, sometimes 4 Argentinian midfield players.
So how does he rectify?
Well, I think Griezmann might have to drop back in slightly to pick up, maybe even Mbappe drop in to make a box of four in there, you know, just to get some sort of foothold in the game, because they're bossing the central midfield area, pressing better, and when they turn over, they're cutting edge and play going through France is fantastic.
Argentina 1, France 0. You would talk sport. The ball is brought down in the midfield. Now played out to the Argentinian right-hand side for Messi. Messi controlling it, getting the run at Hernandez. Happy to win a corner, which will be taken on the Argentinian right. The first one wasn't great. It was easily cleared by Griezmann, but he'll have a second chance now to get a little bit more of an elevation under this. And it's already a day in which Messi has scored or assisted for the very first time in a major final for Argentina. And it might yet prove to be the winner. Argentina will feel that there are more goals in this time. McAllister faced up by Hernandez. More pushing and shoving going on. Plenty converging towards that near post area. French defenders went with him and repelled the threat. Back it comes for Messi again, who's flagged offside. And it's a free kick to France inside their own final third.
Now, well, I'm not sure how that can be offside, because Messi's taken the corner, Giroud's headed the corner out. I don't know whether skimming off the Argentinian player going backwards is constitute as a pass, I don't know.
So potentially fortunate free kick as far as the French are concerned. Last time to score first and lose the final was France back in 2006.
I'll tell you what, Dembele is having the worst game I've ever seen anyone. He's give the penalty away, and he's probably give every pass away that he's had subsequently.
He is a player who thrives on confidence. It's been in short supply for him. Messi, McAllister, Di Maria again down the left-hand side. Alvarez, the only one to try and hit inside the 6-yard box, and he didn't come close to picking the Manchester City man out. But they're getting forward so easily. Di Maria against Koundé is a battle that Argentina are winning all ends up, and Dembele just not in a position to help whatsoever. And I know that the French commentators felt that perhaps he should lose his place for this final, Dembele. Kingsley Coman, if he was 100% fit, should come in to replace him. I wonder whether Deschamps will look at the struggles that Dembele is having and feel that a change has to be made sooner rather than later.
I think that's the biggest problem they've got, Jim. The French is, I'm not sure he makes too many changes. He doesn't trust the bench overly, and he doesn't change the shape of the team a great deal. So I don't know how you improve it, to be honest with you.
Well, he can make 5 changes a game, as you're aware. He made 1 in the quarterfinals and 2 in the semis. That was it. The second string well beaten by Tunisia earlier in the tournament. Here's Messi playing it forward again. With a 1-2 between him and McAllister. McAllister doing really well. Messi once more, right-footed. Oh, it's a peach of a ball with his weaker foot. Di Maria didn't read the bounce of it. Has he been able to keep it in? Yes, he has, against all the odds. Slightly going out of play for both a goal kick and then a throw. Enzo Fernandez sees it work back to him. He's just sent it a little bit wider than necessary out towards that left flank. It's played back in again. Messi waits on the edge of the D, but a shanked shot from distance from Alexis McAllister goes out of play for a throw on the French left. But 32 minutes have elapsed. Argentina have dominated them, and they lead by a goal. And it's a deserved lead, and you feel that if a second goal is coming, it'll be in that same end.
This game could be done by half-time if Argentina can be a little bit more clinical with the opportunities that they're creating. And what I could say, if body language is anything to go by, some of the French players, and I picked it up in the...
As Messi brings it forward, but it's tackled by Chouameni on the edge of the penalty area.
There's a picked up in the Morocco game. There looked to be no leadership in the French ranks when things weren't going their way, and that same trait is there for all to see now.
The ball plays the ball inside the penalty area and it's headed away. There have been 7 teams in the past that have failed to lift the trophy from 1-0 in the final, but not too many of those have come in recent times. 9 of the last 10 sides to score the opening goal have ended up winning it. France, the exception, when they lost that Zidane final of the penalty and the headbutt and the red card in Berlin in 2006. You would talk sport. brought you every game from the 2022 World Cup. We've got 3 live Carabao Cup 4 franchise this week. Live football continues Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got Newcastle, Bournemouth, Manchester United, Burnley, and Manchester City, Liverpool coming your way on TalkSport Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Who'll be world champions by then? Argentina looking hefty favourites at the moment. They lead 1-0 in the final. Messi's penalty on 23 minutes. Here's the ball. Back for Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez will bring it through both halves of the centre circle. Messi making a run ahead of him. But he's fed Molina instead on the right-hand side, right in front of the French dugout with the computer graphic of France and the billowing tricolour on it. Just down away to our right. We're situated at quite a lofty vantage point, about 10 yards or so inside the half that Argentina are defending in this first half as they kick from left to right. I say defending, they've not had much defending to do because France haven't had a shot. Romero and Otamendi combine. Now the ball can pick it up, work it down towards Messi. Molina in space on the right, but Messi's turned the other way. They've sent the ball diagonally to Di Maria on countless occasions. Messi then makes a run to show for the return ball from Di Maria, although it didn't quite come off. And Dembele poking it away, could only get it 15 yards from the edge of his own penalty area where it had been picked up by young Fernandez. He combines with McAllister. Good movement off the ball came from Tagliafico, the left back. Work back through the midfield instead towards Fernandez, and now Romero controlling it on his chest inside his half of the centre circle and keeping Emi Martinez interested. Not too many former Oxford players have ever played in a World Cup final, but Emi Martinez fits that bill. He's got the ball at his feet on a day when he's been a spectator. And Argentina will play out from the back again, but give it away as Romero looked for Molina, and it was a poor pass and the control wasn't much better. And Mbappe tried to dive in, well rescued by Molina, who saw Mbappe making his way inside the penalty area, and his touch was just good enough to divert it back to his goalkeeper. Argentina get it away. Messi with a sublime touch. Alvarez works it through. What a good opportunity this is for Argentina. It's put on the plate. Di Maria makes it two. It is a thing of beauty. That's one of the best World Cup final goals you're ever going to see. It's the final specialist who does it again. And I think French hopes of retention have already gone well and truly out of the window. Argentina have blown them away. Messi with the first, and with an integral part to play in the second as well. Spinning in the midfield and turning it wide. 2 incisive passes later, and Angel Di Maria walks onto it and side puts it in. It's Argentina 2, France 0. They have been the best team in this tournament, and they are less than an hour away from the World Cup. The man who scored the winner in the Copa America final might just have driven the last nail into the French coffin, and we're not even at half-time.
Jim, we are in the presence of brilliance at the moment. That's all I can say. We're about 35 minutes into this game. Argentina have been absolutely magnificent. From up our lofty viewpoint here, you could see exactly what pass was needed by each player to end up scoring a goal. From up here it's easy, from down there it's so difficult. It was perfection, and I've got to touch on the manager at this stage. Di Maria getting the opportunity to play, and the position that he's played high and wide on the left, and France just haven't been able to deal with him. Diagonal balls to him, movements to him, he's got his goal now. It's been absolutely sumptuous, the performance.
Everybody on the same wavelength. Messi's turn was fantastic. The layoff from Alvarez, through ball towards McAllister, waited for the perfect moment, rolled it in for Di Maria. No chance for Lloris. And you would say from here, very little chance for France. There's only one side in this, and they're not playing in dark blue. Argentina 2, France 0. Lionel Messi's writing his story before our eyes.
I'll tell you what, Jim, there's footballing olays coming from the Argentinians now. There's so much arrogance on the ball. with so much confidence losing the team. I don't think I've ever seen a World Cup final that a team have gone out from the first minute, grabbed hold of the game and put a statement down of intent that we're going to take the trophy home like Argentina have now.
Well, McAllister ends up on the deck. He was put there by Koundé. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Argentina inside their own half. Paul working back for Romero, given away in the midfield by Fernandez. I feel that France might need to get one back before half-time to give themselves a fighting chance here. It's not going to come in this attack. Rabiot dispossessed, and then Messi lets the ball spin past him, now trying to take on Upamecano, who stood his ground. He's able to win it back and get it back for Hugo Lloris. Lloris next in action. A week tomorrow on Boxing Day. Spurs at Brentford, bad day. All you can eat, a feast of football across Boxing Day, live on TalkSport. We've got every Premier League game, the only place on national radio where you can hear the return of the Premier League with live commentary of all 10 matches from the next round of fixtures, which starts on Boxing Day. All coming your way on TalkSport, and potentially some Argentinian world champions taking their part in those games taking place December 26, 27, 28.
I'll tell you what, Jim, the French team now, they're waving at each other. The front line are beckoning the back line to get up and come and help and press. They're getting played around. The back line don't want to squeeze up because they're getting outplayed, and it literally is just carnage for the French at the moment, and I don't know how they're going to solve the situation they're in. And the confidence oozing out of the Argentinians at this moment in time is incredible.
Well, sure, they're going to make a double change, a tactical double change 5 minutes before half-time. And Colomboani and Thuram are the players who are going to be coming on. It'll be very interesting to see how things get shuffled around as a result of that. Whether he feels that Giroud can't get into the game, I would imagine he's going to put Dembele out of his misery here. Colomboani, who came on and scored within a minute the other night against Morocco, and Dembele gets hooked 40 minutes into the World Cup final, and they've hooked him off.
Well, you almost feel sorry for the lad. He's given a penalty away. His performance has been shocking, to be fair. It's no surprise, and the manager's had to do something, because if he let this run, I think the game's already finished, but the game would have been done by half-time.
And Giroud's been hooked off as well, so Thuram will come on for him, and Mbappe, who's never likely to have been deemed as the culprit here by Didier Deschamps. Mbappe moves into the middle, and Giroud also comes off. A night that he's made history as the oldest outfield player in a World Cup final for 60 years, but he didn't see half-time, so he comes off as France make a double change. Decisive management, you'd have to say, from Deschamps, but even so, they've still got so much work to do with a 2-goal deficit and 5 minutes to go to the break.
Jim, he had to do something. We were just staring down a car crash at the moment for the French team. So as a manager, you sat there, it's panned out horribly in front of your own eyes. And as I say, he had to do something. Credit to him for making a good early change.
Tagliafico involved over on the Argentinian left as a rumbustious challenge comes in. Di Maria is furious. It's number Colomboani who has inflicted the challenge on Tagliafico.
That was a poor challenge, by the way. It's a bookable challenge, and this is where I have a little bit of issue with referees. I don't think they know what is a bad challenge and what isn't, to be fair. What's intentional and what isn't.
Well, certainly Colomboani trying to lay a marker down. I mentioned that he made an impact 45 seconds after coming on against Morocco. He's made an impact 45 seconds after coming on today, but right down the thigh of Tagliafico. And his little defensive cover as Argentina bring it forward again with Di Maria on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Koundé blocks the cross, tried to flick it off Di Maria so it went out of play. Colomboani comes back and gives it away, and Koundé eventually is able to let the ball roll out of play. And Stop Tagliafico wrapping his foot around. It's a goal kick which Hugo Lloris is going to be able to take. It's Argentina 2, France 0. And if anything, that doesn't tell the story of the first half, which Argentina have probably been even more dominant than the scoreline suggests.
Well, they certainly have. And just looking at he's lined the team up, Argentina, you know, with Di Maria out wide on the left, Messi tucked in on the right-hand side, and Alvarez through the middle almost. The tactical approach that he's got it absolutely right, the manager, and they've dominated the midfield, and that's been the key to setting up all these attacks.
Chouameni back for Rabiot. Argentina only a couple of weeks ago in a very dominant position, 2 up against Australia, and that went to 2-1, and could so easily have gone to 2-2 at extra time. Against the Netherlands, they were 2 up. That went to 2-2 at extra time, but this game has a completely different feel about it to either of those. This has been dominance, this has been destruction.
I'll tell you why, it would be advisable not to ask the Argentinian coach whether he's got his coaching badges. It's fair to say I've seen enough to suggest he probably has. If he hasn't, he can have mine.
Chouameni. There's one for West Ham player to another. Ball played forward by the French, and Mbappe motioning that he was going to try and kick the ball with an overhead kick. Rabiot had already been brought down. It's a free kick which will be taken by the French. Only once in World Cup history have a side ever overturned a 2-goal deficit in a World Cup final. That was in 1954, and West Germany were 2 down against Hungary. But they had got it back to 2-2 only 10 minutes after conceding the second.
I'd almost say, Jim, they'll need a goal before half-time to get back in. Obvious at times, unless you get that goal before half-time.
Colin Wiley picking the ball up in a more central area. Chouameni losing out, then Rabiot heading it back, looking for Mbappe, who's been able to have no influence so far. This man has, it's Messi, who again almost at walking pace just lets the ball stay within about a foot of either foot. You always think that he's going to lose it. He so seldom does. It's nudged one way and then the other. And he wins the throw here as we go into 7 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. 2-0 to Argentina.
Yeah, I think Deschamps has probably got one of the toughest team talks he's ever had to deliver in his life at half-time, to pick this team up and convince them somehow that they've got an opportunity of not only getting back in the game and getting the first goal, but turning it round to actually winning it. Because at the moment, you wouldn't want to be playing against Argentina, and their perfection has come from teamwork, Jim. Not just one person's individual brilliance, but a collective brilliance.
Well, the reintroduction of Di Maria has been a masterstroke, because he has been superb. Hernandez, French left back, playing back for Upamecano. Now Rabiot in the midfield. He looked up, he had very few passing options. Nobody showing for the ball. Rabiot actually able to maintain possession, can bring it forward some 30 yards or so. Chouameni inside the centre circle. Side foots it down to his left-hand side for Hernandez. And now we go back inside. French half foot to Upamecano. Drives it forward. Enzo Fernandez heads it away. Mbappe picking it up. Mbappe down towards Thuram, whose father won this competition back in 1998, and then another poor challenge comes in. Theo Hernandez is the guilty party, and it's a free kick for Argentina in the right back position. And Hernandez gets short shrift from the referee, and Argentina are going to be able to run the clock down a little bit more. Rodrigo de Paul is okay. He might need a little bit of treatment, I don't know. He's still down holding his foot. He's another who's had an excellent tournament so far. The referee's decided he doesn't need any treatment, and De Paul is held back to his feet by Molina. Argentina 2, France 0. Night has fallen here in Lusail, and Argentina have pretty much put the lights out on France in a devastating first 45 minutes.
Well, I think it's fitting at the moment. This first 45 minutes or so has been probably the best 45 minutes of football continually I've seen from any team at this World Cup, without a doubt. The cutting edge has been fantastic, the pressing on the ball's been magnificent, and just the individual brilliance of everybody on the ball being so comfortable in possession.
And Martinez, given the hurry up, will take this free kick. Drives it forward. Chouameni heads it away. Molina, Messi clipping it forward. Alvarez gives chase. Knocked away though by Varane. And out of play for a throw to Argentina, level the edge of the French penalty area. It's a massive team talk ahead for Deschamps, who has become the first manager in World Cup history to make 2 substitutions before half-time in the final. He's just got to try and work out how his side can get any foothold back in this game. At the moment, you cannot make a case for a recovery. 60% of the possession, Argentina. They've had 6 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals. France, not a single shot. It's played out from the back by Martinez. And now Otamendi. These days at Benfica, out towards Tagliafico. He's lost out to Colomboani. Colomboani winning it back. He's poked it back inside his own half here for Varane. And Varane towards the edge of the centre circle. Chouameni down for Upamecano. White sweatband around his left wrist. And a little bit of strapping on a hand injury as well. Back towards Varane and his orange boots. The former Real Madrid player now at Manchester United lays it off. Down for Thuram on the left flank. Thuram controlling the ball. Trying to beat the challenge of Molina. And he goes out of play. And the referee has given a throw rather than a free kick. It's a throw which will be taken on the right-hand side. Back for Varane. Varane controlling it. Working it across towards Koundé. Koundé to Griezmann. France just haven't been able to get him into the game at all. Varane clipping it right footed towards the edge of the penalty area. Colomboani in there trying to make life difficult. Hair after McAllister, and then it's cleared by Enzo Fernandez straight into Griezmann and spins upfield 30 yards and goes out of play for an Argentinian throw. Slightly unorthodox way of being able to alleviate the pressure. Fernandez never one for the orthodox. He wins the throw, and Argentina again in no hurry to take it, but have got out of harm's way, worked themselves upfield, and they're going to have a 2-goal lead going into half-time.
Yeah, what you've just seen from Fernandez there was an individual doing the right thing at the right time of a football match, and that's what Argentina have done continually for 50 odd minutes now.
We're in the 6th minute of added time at the end of the first half. Tagliafico has the ball in his hand over on that far touchline. You're with Talk Sport, and it's 2-0 to Argentina. And it looks as though their day with destiny is going to end in tears of delight. Griezmann sliding in. Well, he's on the field. France will still feel that there is still a little bit of hope, but he and Mbappe have got to turn 5 out of 10 performances into probably 12 out of 10 performances in the second half. Try and find a way back into this. Enzo Fernandez forward towards Messi. Messi back for Fernandez again. Fernandez just diverting the ball across the face of Mbappe. Finds Romero on halfway, and Mbappe pays lip service of putting a little bit of pressure on Romero, but it was enough to force Romero to overhit his pass out towards the far touchline. France take the throw quickly. Chouameni almost guilty of dallying in possession, and then Colomboani drives forward down the right-hand side. Cross comes Otamendi to put it out of play for a throw. Colomboani was unceremoniously stopped. And Argentina have a player down injured as well. It is Fernandez, who's been involved in a lot of the niggly stuff in there. He's down holding his shoulder. When he gets back to his feet, he's going to get a yellow card for his foul on Colomboani. Stuart Pearce.
I'm just looking at Fernandez. He's running the game in midfield. He's down injured at the moment. He's running the game in midfield. He's playing like a 29-year-old. He's ended up getting booked for a foul. Stop play, stop the attack. And he was the one who cannoned the ball off for somebody. They just know what to do at a very young age. Very clever game understanding.
As you mentioned, he's only 21. He plays his club football for Benfica. He started the last 5 games now. He'd never started for his country before that.
Well, that just tells you something about the coach and the trust he has in some of these players. It really does. I mean, his team selection, that first game where things didn't go right for Argentina, even though they could have probably had 5 in the game, And then from that moment on, it was a wake-up moment, and they've just got better and better as the tournament's gone on.
Fernandez got a yellow card for his challenge. France wasted the free kick, overhit it, coasted through the penalty area, and the half-time whistle has been greeted with delirium by the jumping Albiceleste fans away to our left-hand side. They've been sensational. France little short of woeful. The half-time score with Messi on the score sheet. Argentina 2, France 0. And a reminder of the teams. Adrian Emi Martinez in goal for Argentina. Molina, Romero, Otamendi, Tagliafico. De Paul, Fernandez, McAllister. Alvarez, Messi, Di Maria. France, Lloris in goal. Koundé, Varane, Upamecano and Theo Hernandez. Chouameni and Rabiot. Griezmann, and a front three now of substitute Colomboani, Mbappe and substitute Thuram. They both came on in the 41st minute. They've already touched the ball as many times combined as Mbappe did in the whole of the first half. France didn't have a legitimate touch of the ball in the Argentinian penalty area at all. They need to win this second half by 2 goals to take it to extra time. It's very difficult to make a case for them. But in this World Cup, the World Cup of shocks, the World Cup of drama, of extraordinary late goals and big turnarounds, you just wonder, or is it going to be Lionel Messi's day? Feels like it at the moment. Argentina get us back underway in their light blue and white shirts, white shorts. They're kicking from right to left towards the main bank of Argentina support away to our left-hand side of this magnificent swirling, curling stadium in Lausanne. Di Maria, who's been brilliant, coming to meet the ball. It looked like a potential handball there against that Messi leaning into it. He's found Alvarez. Alvarez taking a touch back towards the edge of the penalty area. Sends it wide to his right-hand side for De Paul. Then back to Enzo Fernandez. Right-footed ball chipped over the top. McAllister just didn't see it coming. And had he made the run with conviction, I think he would have stayed onside and he would have got to Enzo Fernandez's pass before Hugo Lloris, and it could have been 3. Great start in the second half for Argentina, who lead by 2 goals to 0. And as Lloris throws the ball out to the left-hand side for Theo Hernandez, he inexplicably can't control it, and he just straight out of play for a throw. They've gone.
Well, to be fair, I thought that in the game against Morocco, when things were going against the French, that there was no answer to it, and sometimes the answers aren't in the technical area. They've got to be on the pitch with the players taking some sort of control of the issue, and France haven't been able to do that, I'm afraid, and they're going to need to get this next goal to give themselves any chance, or even half a chance of getting back in the game.
Koundé has possession. Off the long, trying to poke it down the right-hand touchline. Hit Di Maria. Chouameni had to come back and rescue it. Plays it back for Varane, and then Varane plays it forward through the midfield for Upamecano. It's only one-sided World Cup history had led the final at half-time and lost. That was Argentina, but way back in the very first World Cup final in 1930, when they were beaten by host Uruguay, having 2-1 up at half-time. Varane in possession for France. Expect that they'll have a little bit more of the ball in the second half. That's a byproduct of the situation of the game. Argentina have shown a real pragmatic side when they've needed to. They've also at times brought on a third centre-half. We've seen Lisandro Martinez brought on. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen maybe with 25-30 minutes to go, but Scaloni will just put another body back behind the ball and get them over the line, but they've earned the right.
Yeah, he say Scaloni has done that time and time again. Tactically he's very astute, and he doesn't wait for things to go against his team. He's proactive in his changes, proactive in his team selection, and well, let's be quite honest with you, barring the first game where the result went against them, but I think, to be honest with you, the chances they had, they could have comfortably won that 4 or 5. They have been absolutely magnificent. He's got every judgment call correct.
This is the 11th World Cup final between a European and a South American nation. Europe have won only 3 of the previous 10, including France in 1998. And Argentina have been on the losing side of the other 2. But they've very much got their foot in the door here. leading by 2-0. Koundé flicking it down the French right-hand side, losing out to Di Maria. Colin Mwani's been lively and angry since coming on, and he's done well to win possession back there. Koundé playing it through the midfield, well read by Romero, stepped up from the defensive line. Messi now for Di Maria. Di Maria's got Alvarez in the middle. He's heading deeper than that for De Paul. Right-footed bouncing effort from him into the hands of Hugo Lloris, but all the chances are still coming the way of La Albiceleste.
Well, once again, Argentina had probably 4 or 5 passes when they turned over possession, and they just go straight after you. There's no inclination we're going to take a backward step, we're trying to be, and some of their passes are magnificent. They make passes look very easy.
It's been a magnificent performance, and to be able to go up to previously unforeseen heights when the stakes are at their highest is a huge credit to them all. They haven't won it yet. 40 minutes to go. They have a 2-0 lead. It does look impregnable, but as I mentioned, you never know. It would only take one individual error, one moment of French brilliance potentially to get them back into the game. Got the men on the field that can provide it, but they haven't been on top of their games today. Ball's gone out of play for what has been given as an Argentinian throw. France thought it should have gone the other way and actually restarted the game, but referee Marciniak said no, it is an Argentine ball. And they'll take the throw over on the far touchline, which is their right, and Molina is going to take it. Just waiting for a few options to present themselves. Throws it short into the feet of Lionel Messi. And it's worked very quickly all the way back for Emi Martinez. Martinez to Otamendi, now down for Tagliafico. Tagliafico preferred a left back to Acuna, who's carrying a knee injury. McAllister flicking it back, causing a few problems for Otamendi. Mbappe herring after it, and is brilliant defending again from Enzo Fernandez. Has conceded a corner, but he stopped Mbappe driving inside the penalty area, all getting across in. This is France's first corner of the game. Another contribution from the hugely impressive Enzo Fernandez, who is going to be a big fish in the European game for years to come, you would think. The Benfica man, he won't be at Benfica for long. What can France do from this corner? Left foot, it's swung in straight into the hands of Martinez. 2-0 to Argentina.
Well, France looks as though that might be a way of getting back in the game. They've loaded the box up with a good 7 players in there, but the cross, I've got to say, Martinez done magnificently to come through bodies and claim it.
Well, it's a very clever angle ball from Di Maria for Messi. Messi helping it down for De Paul. Another one of the unsung heroes in this Argentine side wins the throw down by the corner flag over on the far touchline as Theo Hernandez slid in and won it cleanly.
This is what I'm saying about how clinical the Argentinians are. They're defending a corner, they're 2-0 up, goalkeeper come and claims the ball 5 minutes into the second half, and within seconds they're 3 yards from the opposition's goal line. Incredible.
Molina taking the throw into the feet of De Paul. Back for Molina again, wins the corner. All the minimum of fuss. Just fired it straight at Hernandez. And he goes out of play for a corner which will be taken over on the far side. Can't believe how good Enzo Fernandez is. Paquet still in single figures, but the World Cup winners medal seemingly is going to be his. We'll find out over the next 40 minutes or so. Alvarez waits inside the 6-yard box. McAllister on the edge of the 6. 3 Argentine players near the penalty spot. Messi just repositions the sound microphone down behind that corner flag before taking this corner. Left foot, he wanted more of a run-up. He really whipped it in with venom. And Griezmann, who stands on central duty at that near post area for France, can head it away. And he goes out of play for a throw. Thuram, sensing that Messi was going to waste time before restarting the play with the throw, went and presented Messi with the ball. Messi said thank you and then dropped it promptly on the floor again. And Molina belatedly will go across to take it. 2-0, 8 minutes into the second half. You would talk sport. Throw taken the right-hand side of the box. Alvarez making another darting run. He's lost possession. And Upamecano gets it away to halfway, and inevitably Argentina at the side with the players there, and they can play out from the back once more. It's been such a poor, listless performance. Out comes Emi Martinez. Sliced the ball, didn't really get it away, and he only dropped about 5-6 yards in front of him, and he was stranded in no man's land. But Argentina quickly get their shape back. France have going to be able to work it forward. He goes back for Rabiot. Rabiot to Chouameni. And then Upamecano will play it forward again. Mbappe picks it up, but in a much deeper position. Tries to make inroads into that Argentine midfield and get between the lines, and can't do so. The blue and white brick wall stands in his way, hastily erected. And Chouameni trying to knock it down the inside left channel for the run of Mbappe, and that too ended up being a pass that went straight to trouble. Rabiot slides in, he fouls the ball, and he's going to get a yellow card. Rabiot, the second French player booked in the second half. And we're 9 minutes in. This is like the 1998 final where France were on the other end of it and they beat Brazil. Brazil just didn't turn up. And this has been the worst performance in a World Cup final by any side since then.
Well, there's two sides of that, Jim, really. It's the worst performance, or it could be the best performance you've ever seen.
Or both.
Or one, exactly that. Somewhere between the two, it's been... I mean, in some ways, the warning signs were there that it was going to be very, very one-sided. Argentina growing game by game by game in this tournament, and we're seeing their best performance, I think, at this moment in time. And the French probably getting progressively worse, I would have said, you know, from the time they scored against England.
The ball's still now receiving treatment. You're listening to Talk Sports coverage of the 2022 FIFA World Cup final. We've brought you live commentary of every game, the only station to have done that. Jim Proudfoot here talking through the action alongside the former England captain Stuart Pearce and Adrian Durham. And also credit as well to our backroom staff back home. Keelan Cosgrove, Luke Henry, Jack Caton, all making sure we're on the straight and narrow from London. The score is 2-0 to Argentina. We're 10 minutes into the second half. The ball is back on his feet, and no sign at all of the spirited French resistance and fight back that Deschamps would have hoped for. The free kick is taken. The ball waiting for the signal to come back on the field. It's going to be okay. Ball is worked through the midfield, and McAllister tries to flick it on another player whose value has shot up considerably at this World Cup. Colin Muani's brought down, and it's a free kick which will be taken by the French just inside Argentinian territory. Chouameni with it, back inside his own half of the centre circle. Upamecano, the left-hand side for Teo Hernandez, now to Rabiot, and back again. Varane. Di Maria sensing for a moment that the ball might have been under hit, and he went up through the gears as quickly as he could. Varane still got there first, but it was a close run thing. Now Koundé, fall from right back for France, and just let Di Maria commit himself. Just knocked it past him as Di Maria slid in to block the cross, which didn't come at that moment. Argentina blocked the first one. Colin Muani, who has been a vast improvement on Dembele, who he replaced before half-time. Trying to get himself into a position by the byline where he could wrap his right foot around it. Didn't come off for him, but it is put out of play for a throw. It'll be taken on the French right. Colin Muani leaning over it has brought it under control. Back he goes from Rabiot. Rabiot to Varane. Varane put under immediate pressure from the selfless running of Alvarez. And he's forced to go all the way back for Hugo Lloris. It's 2-0.
Yeah, I'm just looking at two individuals in the Argentina ranks, McAllister and Alvarez. They've really enhanced their reputations. Just incredible, you know, be coming back to our shores, and well, their clubs will be rightly impressed with their contribution.
Another free kick has been given. It really has been niggling a stop-start. That time it was Mbappe just kicking out once the ball had gone at DePaul, kicking him on the back of the leg. That would have been a yellow card in a Premier League game.
I've seen David Beckham get sent off for a lot less in an England shirt.
Absolutely. And a good evening to Mr. Kim Nielsen, listening in Denmark, or not, as the case may be. Argentina 2, France 0. 58 minutes gone. Di Maria, target of a long cross-field ball. Ends up winning it up. A good play by Tagliafico. Clever ball. Flick round the corner. Alvarez is there. The angle's tight. Into the near post where Lloris had it covered. A combination of the frame of the goal and Lloris got the job done. Alvarez had very little to try and hit Lloris, getting that near post covered, and Lloris got his right hand down in front of the post to make a save. A shot that probably wouldn't have gone in, but he didn't take any chances. Here's Upamecano. Bringing it forward towards halfway again for the French. Fight back at the moment non-existent. They've got just over half an hour. Ball is worked for them. Mbappe is offside. Well, Stuart, you were here for the Netherlands game against Argentina, where they brought Van Weghorst on. They abandoned the footballing philosophy they have. They launched it forward, and they caused real problems. Is that the only thing left, really, for Didier Deschamps to try?
Well, the thing is, the Dutch had two big boys to bring on that were proper big boys. You're talking 6'6", 6'7", that could play in that manner. As we've seen so far in this tournament, the French don't trust the bench, to be quite honest with you, and we get the feeling that he doesn't see anyone outside the starting 11 being good enough to influence it.
Yeah. I guess the only person potentially could have done it is Giroud, and he's gone off. Here's Di Maria, left-hand side of the penalty area, twisting one way, getting the better of Koundé. It's in for Messi, and he's wide. Just cleared into him by a sliding challenge, and he walks away with a wry grin on his face. He knows it was only a half chance. Good play by Di Maria, spinning. Alvarez created the space. Brilliant dummy from De Paul, and Messi coming onto it. Rabiot just forced his hand and it's brushed off his right foot and gone wide.
Tell you what, Rabiot has done magnificently well there. Otherwise they'd just as well hand the trophy over.
Well, the third goal kills France off. Ball goes over Griezmann's head. Forward goes from Fernandes. Varane colliding with his own man and going down. Her free kick's been given against Alvarez, who's been leading the sandwich between the two French players there. I think it was Chouameni that probably inflicted the heftier of the blows on Varane and caused the awkward fall. The first half saw 7 additional minutes, and this second half's been really fragmented as well. Another Griezmann free kick worked out towards the left flank, and another inexplicable lack of control from Theo Hernandez. And it comes off him and goes out of play for a throw to Argentina.
I think the narrative from the French after this game will be, listen, we've done brilliantly to get to 2 finals in a row. We've done brilliant to get to the final. We've come up against a side that are just in scintillating form, and we've had 5 top players out from the ranks, and we weren't competitive in the final. That's how I'm seeing this at the moment.
They've come up against an Argentinian side who were restricted to 1 goal against Saudi Arabia, but they've scored 2 or more in every game since then. It's the first time a team has managed to do that in the World Cup since the 1930s. France bring it forward again with Rabiot. Enzo Fernandez sticks a foot in. Chouameni driving. Griezmann stopping, pausing, flicking it out to the left-hand side. Cross comes in. Thuram was the target. Easily headed away before he got there. And a play for a throw that will be taken on the French left. And Romero, who's just gone through the game very simplistically. He's been in the right place at the right time to deal with the threat when it has come, only sporadically. Now Colomboani, been caught in possession by McAllister, who nipped him from his blind side. Argentina trying to set up a 5 against 3 counter-attack here. Alvarez through the legs. The sliding challenge from Lloris came out, cleared the ball and got it away before Alexis McAllister could get on the return ball to poke it in for 3 and cement Argentina's place in history. Now Griezmann has gone down at the other end of the field. Colomboani was down for a bit, and he's back on his feet. Players going down from both sides, but on the counter-attack they're just scintillating Argentina, and they've got no option and no answer to it.
They are certainly fantastic, and to be fair, they were very close to giving a penalty away, the French.
Griezmann making his way inside the penalty area. Ball didn't get there, it was half clear. Chouameni High ball from him, chested down well by Kunde, the right back's a clever touch to get the better of Di Maria. Hooks it inside the penalty area, but it had just bounced over the line. I think the assistant referee near side waiting for confirmation that that was the case, but it is a goal kick. And it's a goal kick which is going to be taken away to the right-hand side by Hugo Lloris. And Argentina will make a change. And we're going to see Acuna come on the left-hand side, and he will replace Angel Di Maria. Tears of exasperation from him in 2014 when he wasn't able to play in the final. But in 2022, he scored the goal that could seal the victory. And he leaves the field to a standing ovation from the Argentinian cohorts all around the ground, from the substitutes as well. He walks across the line with high fives, a kiss from the conditioning coach, big pat on the back from the reserve goalkeeper Rulli. It's been a brilliant performance from Di Maria. They would have expected that they could only get an hour or so out of him on his comeback, and boys, he made the most of it.
Oh, he certainly has. And once again, the Argentinian coach makes changes before you need to make changes. You know, this is a more defensive change, if you like, but I'm sure their ethos will still be get forward and score another goal.
So Acuna is playing on the left wing rather than left back. Here's Messi. Messi going for the return ball. No chance for really being able to get on the end of that. McAllister didn't quite get the angle right, and then as it's headed forward emphatically by Tagliafico, it hits Kunde. Wasn't sure where it had gone. Hit him on the arm. It would have been very tough to give a free kick against him for that. He was trying to get out of the way. Acuna claiming that it should be a free kick. There's a reaction on the Argentine bench as well, but it's going to be a goal kick, which will be taken by Hugo Lloris away to our left. Argentina 2, France 0. 25 minutes to go in the 2022 World Cup final. And don't forget, the only place on national radio you can hear the return of the Premier League is TalkSport. Live commentary of all 10 matches in the next round of fixtures starts on Boxing Day, continues December 27th and 28th as well. First game, 12:30, Brentford against Tottenham. Boxing Day lunchtime. We've got it all covered for you on TalkSport. Now between now and then we've got 3 live Carabao Cup 4th round ties as well. Newcastle, Bournemouth, Man United, Burnley and Man City, Liverpool, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday respectively, on your home of live sport, TalkSport. Ball's out for a French throw which Griezmann takes. Rabiot back for Griezmann, the bleach blonde hair fizzing it across the edge of the 6-yard box, possibly with a slight deflection. Thuram and Colin Muani both very interested, but neither could get there. And then Kunde couldn't hold it up. Colin Muani trying to win it back from Tagliafico. Loose ball that breaks down McAllister's way. He's been everywhere, and he thrashes it forward through the midfield. France going to win it back with Chouameni, and then Varane controls it and calmly goes back for Lloris. Well, that was better from France, but everything is relative. And at least able to fizz the ball into a dangerous area and turn the Argentine back line. But still, Martinez hasn't had a difficult save to make.
No, and as I say, they've got some physical presence in their ranks now, the French. You know, I don't think it's the same physical presence as the Dutch had, but they're as well trying to toss the ball in the box, see what happens, see what the reaction is on the back line of Argentina. Because when I say they've been knocking on the door, the French, I don't even think they know where the door is at the moment to score a goal.
Otamendi slices a cross away and out for another French corner. Griezmann's going to take it, whip towards the edge of the 6-yard box, helped up by Colin Muani, and hit one of his teammates and goes behind for what's been given as a goal kick. Or did it take a last touch off an Argentine player? A goal kick is the verdict. We're midway through the second half. Seeing the replay was the correct call from the Polish referee. And if France are going to do it, it's going to be very late and very dramatic. They're going to make another double change with Camavinga and Coman, the players that are going to be coming on. And Deschamps knows that he's in a position in what may well be his last game as the French international coach. He's out of contract at the end of this tournament. He's going to win a 3rd World Cup. He needs to pull a Lapin out of the chapeau. Ball is cleared from our right-hand side.
I have no idea what that meant, but I was quite impressed, Jim. Well done.
So was my GCSE French teacher, who certainly didn't see that coming.
Well, it's French.
Oh. Is Enzo Fernandez. McAllister. Back for Fernandez again. Messi just drawing challenges, flicking the ball off at the optimum time. Now play down towards the left-hand side, but Koundé is there ahead of Acuna. Messi again involved. Koundé back through the midfield. Turan claims a handball against Fernandez, and the referee agrees. The changes were going to be made then, but the free kick was taken very quickly. France getting inside the penalty area once more, but Romero can smack it clear. Upamecano, poor touch, seized upon just for a moment by Julian Alvarez, but only for a moment. France have won it back. Chouameni, left-hand side of the penalty area. Will he be in a position that he can get the ball in? Turning towards the touchline, needing a bit of assistance from Hernandez. Didn't get any. Argentina have won it back and will poke it forward very quickly. Chases on, but it's not one that they've won. De Paul losing out. And it goes all the way back for Hugo Lloris again. 69 gone. Argentina 2, France 0 on TalkSport.
There's just been a few shoots of encouragement for the French. They've upped the tempo of what they try to do, been a bit more direct, got it out wide, hurried, chased, and just showing a little bit more confidence in their play.
Well, Griezmann's one of the players that's going to be coming off by the numbers board that went up when they tried to make the substitution quickly. Maybe he sensed it was coming, and so he took the free kick quickly himself. He's waiting on the edge of the penalty area now as Hernandez will try and play it forward, and Mbappe taking it down, getting a shot in, goes over the bar. It's a sight of goal for the French, but nothing more. Off comes Griezmann. Coleman on to replace him. And we're also seeing Camavinga on for Theo Hernandez. He's not a natural left back, but he did play there against Tunisia in the game that France lost. The Angolan-born central midfielder, you would imagine, is going to come on for Hernandez, and a straight swap to play as an emergency left back again. And Griezmann, France's best player in the tournament prior to today, makes way as well, and Coleman replaces him. So a double throw of the dice with 20 minutes to go.
I think they've got absolutely nothing to lose, to be quite honest with you. I just wonder whether at some stage the Argentinians will counter that with putting his three-man defenders in. But certainly this is probably France's best spell of the game at the moment.
It looks as though they're probably going to go 4-4-2. Coleman on the right-hand side. Colin Mouani alongside Mbappe through the middle. Flick down the left-hand side of the penalty area for McAllister. Alexis McAllister controlling it, taking it down towards the corner flag, and then dropping the shoulder. Almost as though he had magnets in his feet. And the ball just stayed attracted to them. Messi, similarly clad, sets up Fernandez, but a right-footed effort is straight in the hands of Lloris, and it stays at 2.
I think there's one or two north of the border in Scotland ruining the fact that McAllister's decided to go and play for Argentina at this stage.
Do you know what, I stand to be corrected. I don't think he's eligible. I think the Scottish ancestry is one generation too far back, and as a consequence he can only play for Argentina, but they'd love him, wouldn't they?
I think anyone would on these performances.
He's been tremendous, and he's 20 minutes away from a World Cup winners medal. Here's Varane, who's at this stage of the game that the Dutch launched their fight back through Weghorst. Scored the first with about 17-18 minutes to go, and then scored the second deep into stoppage time with that brilliantly worked free kick. No sign of the French fighting back here. Ball out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the French left by Camavinga. Taking the throw, dropping it short of the feet of Upamecano. Now to Rafael Varane. 5 in the French starting lineup who won the World Cup as part of the starting 11 4 years ago. Very different day then, when France completely outplayed Croatia and beat them comfortably. And it's been every bit as comfortable, if not more so, for Argentina against the French today. 2-0 score. Messi from the spot and Di Maria in the first half. Upamecano striding forward from the defensive line has lost it. Turnover of possession, which might have been the instigator of a quick counter-attack for Argentina. Tchouaméni knew that was going to be the case and took matters into his own hands. Went in late on Romero, fouled him, breaks the play up. And Argentina have a free kick, but France have got their shake back behind the ball. 16 to go. And in about 20 minutes time, Argentina are going to be champions of the world.
Yeah, we've just seen another feature there from the Argentinians. Romero on that occasion just reading play and just bursting in front of a receiving player from the French and just breaking play up. I think they've done that so well today. It's little bits like that probably isn't the silky passing that sticks in your mind, that are all part of this rich tapestry of a team performance.
Last 4 World Cups have all been won by European teams. The first South American title for 20 years is imminent. Clears from Emi Martinez. France win it back inside their own half, but they're able to get Mbappe going. Well, his trademark scything runs, but just lacking a half yard of pace against the Argentinian backline, anticipating well, and Romero did very well, and now he's been able to poke it through, and Alvarez causing problems for the French back line. Upamecano has forced him away, and Alvarez maintaining possession. The ball was in support, but the ball through the midfield only found Kingsley Coman. Scored a winner in the Champions League final in the past. Argentina doing everything they could to foul him. Alvarez grabbing him by the shirt and then throwing himself at him. He's not really a rugby league player, Alvarez, but some footballer. Might just be spoken to by the referee. In fact, no, it's going to fall on out with Simon Marciniak's frame of interest. Well, it's going to be a throw which will be taken on the Argentinian left, and Deschamps again far from happy, and I think he knows that his countrymen's fate has long been assured. 2-0 Argentina lead it, very deservedly so. Throw to be taken on their left, the near touchline. Varane read it, got there ahead of McAllister, volleys it straight out of play for another throw. Someone in the French dugout acts as ball boy, picks up the loose ball, chucks it at Tagliafico. Tagliafico takes the throw. Nice ball down in the midfield by Fernandez, who on the lunge has just lost out. Otamendi, I beg your pardon. Fernandez just dropped it, saw that Otamendi was caught out of position, just with a minimum of fuss, just dropped back in behind him into the centre half role. They've swapped back again now. France work it forward, but without conviction. Argentina turning over possession again. Messi flicking it off to his right-hand side. Chance for De Paul to try and engage Camavinga. Man's taken on again on the right flank, and the advantage not played by the referee as Messi had possession following the foul on De Paul by Camavinga. The advantage would have worked really well for Argentina there at 0-0. They'd have been furious about that. At 2-0, it's not quite so important. It will be a free kick.
Yeah, the breaking plays are probably suiting Argentina at the moment. It was a foul, but you know full well that every foul stroke breaker play is going to last maybe 60 seconds, just a break play.
Argentina bringing it forward again towards the edge of the penalty area. McAllister working it back for Enzo Fernandez. Once more Messi can pick it up, once more Messi can find the man to get to the byline, but Lloris able to comfortably deal with De Paul's slightly misdirected cross, not pulled back at a sharp enough angle. Now Lloris fields it, gets to that field as quickly as he can, but it can't get anything to stick. And Argentina have it once more with McAllister. McAllister doing his best to evade the challenge of Thuram. Fernandez picks up the pieces, works it quickly out of the right. De Paul turning it back first time. It's Molina to Fernandez. And back on halfway, it's worked out towards the right-hand touchline for Argentina, just to almost try a little rondo over there. Messi wins the throw, and the clock is ticking down. Messi just had a little look up at the scoreboard just to see what the situation is. 78 minutes. There is a giant TV screen all four corners of this ground, and the clock is ticking down pretty swiftly for Argentina with the minimum of fuss. And now very quickly for France. Need a miracle. Will Colomwani be able to provide it? He's trying to get in goal side. The referee has a look and has given a penalty to France. Now this could be a game changer. Colomwani bursting inside the penalty area. He had Nicola Otamendi for company, and there was just a little clip from the left knee of Otamendi on the back of the leg of Colomwani, who goes down. And if France score this penalty, they've got 10 minutes to complete one of the more unlikely salvage acts in World Cup final history.
Well, if they can turn this one round, it'll be some comeback, it really will. But if it hits the back of the net, there'll be a panic on there. To say 12 minutes on the clock left, plenty of extra time on top of that, I'm sure. And the game changes. We've seen so many turnarounds and changes, it's incredible.
France, through the opening 79 minutes, haven't had a single shot on target. Kylian Mbappe has purposefully put the ball down. He strides back towards the edge of the penalty area. Emi Martinez, specialist at saving penalties, bobbing up and down on his line. He can't get close to that one. It's crept underneath his right arm. And Mbappe scores in the final for France. Out of nothing, they've thrown themselves a lifeline and they're back in the game. It's Argentina 2, France 1. Mbappe retrieving the ball from the back of the net, sprints to the centre circle, spots it down for Argentina to restart the game, and France now believe.
Well, the accuracy of that penalty and the pace of it got it over the line. Martinez got a decent hand on it, but couldn't keep it out. And I'll tell you what, stranger things have happened. It goes back to that fact before the game, Jim. I hope the team that wins this deserves to win it. And certainly at this moment in time, France, a team that probably don't deserve to win it, have got their tails up now.
6th goal for Kylian Mbappe in 7 games at this World Cup. Still behind Lionel Messi in terms of the Golden Boot chart because the Argentine has more assists. But now France, with purpose, can try and get the ball forward. They've been second best for large swathes of this contest. Will Argentina be able to keep their nerve? Wouldn't be surprised at all to see another centre-half come on for them in a moment. Coman has dispossessed Messi. Coman's going to be able to bring it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Lays it off for Rabiot. Rabiot chipping it forward. Little give and go. Mbappe's in! Oh, it's 2-2! He scored twice in 2 minutes! And Kylian Mbappe has turned the World Cup final on his head! First from the penalty spot, and the second he's rifled a volley in from a sharp angle on the left-hand side of the area. Argentina were there. They were over the line. They were counting down the minutes. And Kylian Mbappe, who's had a pretty nondescript performance in game, has just conjured up a double strike in the space of 2 minutes to potentially change football history.
Well, let's just cover the goal. How and why he's took that first time, I don't know. You would have thought, hang on a minute, take it down, you've got plenty of time. But what a finish, absolutely incredible finish. We're 2-2. The subs have run from this side of the pitch straight across the pitch to join the celebrations on the far touchline. Both managers in the technical area have gone head to head down there. And well, have we got a game on our hands. Just when you think you've seen everything, something else happens.
It's been that kind of World Cup. But I don't believe anybody in the stadium saw this coming. Mbappe on 80 and 82. And he's also gone ahead in the Golden Boot race as well.
I'll tell you what you've got to say as well. Give Deschamps, who was on the back foot at half-time, probably delivering the toughest team talk that's ever been known to his team, has made big substitutions. 2 in the first half, taking big players off. And, you know, he's pulled off Giroud in the game. Griezmann's come off. Dembele's come off. These are players that you're expecting to win France the World Cup.
Well, now it's a test of nerve. Argentina blowing a 2-0 lead. Again, did it against the Dutch. They need to respond. They thought they were there. They need to dig deep and go to the well again. Alvarez on the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's a chance for Acuna to deliver. Acuna trying to get to the byline, cuts it back away from Coleman, sends it across the edge of the box. Enzo Fernandez with an effort that hits Rabiot and is cleared. Forward it comes from Romero and Camavinga. That makeshift left back knocks it away. One back well by Colomboani. And France now believe, with 6 minutes to go and a stack of stoppage time, that they can win this in regulation time. Might they yet be able to retain the World Cup? Messi can't find a way through. Mbappe on a hat-trick, the most remarkable hat-trick of his career. Peels away to the left-hand side. He's got it inside the penalty area. He's clipped it inside the area, but his cross is too high for Colomboani, and he drifts out of play. It's a goal kick to Argentina, who've blown a 2-0 lead in the final. 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go. It's 2-2 with 5 minutes to go in an absolute classic.
Well, to say we've saved the best till last is a massive, massive understatement. I was asked before the game what result would I want, and I said at the time I would want France to lead 2-0 and Argentina to come back, win 3-2 and Messi get the winner. Well, I don't know how close to that we are.
Argentina to lead 2-0 and France to come back and win 3-2 with an Mbappe hat-trick. Wow. France have had 2 shots on target. They've scored with them both. 1 minute and 37 seconds apart. What Scaloni would do to be able to rewind the passage of time. Just 5 or 6 minutes from here. But it's 2-2 and extra time is on the agenda.
This is one of the few times where he's not shored up the back line, hasn't it, and put 3 in the back line a little bit earlier, Scaloni. I would have thought certainly somewhere mid through this half, certainly when it went to 2-1, that might have been his best option.
Kylian Mbappe, the youngest player ever to score 10 goals in the World Cup. No one has ever scored more goals in World Cup finals than him, joining Pelé, Vava, Hurst and Zidane on 3. Ball put forward through the midfield. There's another thumping challenge coming in. There's a free kick to France. And now there's animation on the French bench. Now there's belief where there was none. And they will believe that they have got away with something in quite epic circumstances here, that they're still in there fighting, having been second best for so long. Mbappe playing the ball in. What a test of nerve and resilience this now is for Argentina, who've got to defend. And some ball flicked inside the penalty area, but it's shot pulling going on. That might be a penalty. No, referee's going to book him for diving. Yellow card shown for the dive. They thought they got another penalty, France. And Marcus Thuram gets back to his feet with an apologetic look in his eye. He knows that he's guilty as charged. We'll see the replay. He was trying to buy it from Enzo Fernandez. Saw the foot coming out, but Thuram initiated the contact. Has the referee got it right?
The referee's got it right. It's the first booking for diving at the whole World Cup, and we've had to wait to the 87th minute of the last game. That is an incredible stat.
Good refereeing. So the free kick comes from Emi Martinez, and now there's a clash over on the far touchline, which is going to see play stopped. It's 2 players going down with head injuries. Kylian Alvarez is the Argentine player that is down hurt. The referee looked quite concerned for a moment. He's going up for it with Rabiot. Camavinga in there as well. He's gone off scot-free. But Alvarez has ended up heading the back of Rabiot's head, and both will need treatment. There's going to be so much stoppage time at the end of this second half. Could easily be 10 minutes. We've got 2 minutes before we get there. And Kylian Mbappe's turned the final on its head. well taken penalty, a brilliant volley, and Argentina are back to square one.
I've got to say, just looking at that volley again from Mbappe for his second goal, absolutely magnificent technique. If you don't get that right, people are going to say, like me, like a smart ass sat up here, why don't you take a touch? You know, he didn't. He trusted his ability and finished with absolute aplomb. Incredible. And I tell you what, where this has come from, I do not know. But the French have found a way through the substitutions to get back in the game.
And again, hindsight being a wonderful thing, people will look at Scaloni's changes. It didn't feel, when Di Maria came off after 64, it didn't feel as though that was a bad move. Only Scaloni and Di Maria himself will know exactly how fit he is. Remember, he hadn't started a game since the group stage. But since he's come off, well, it's been less of a threat for Argentina going forward. And since Mbappe scored his penalty, it has been all France. And if there is going to be a winner from here in regulation time, your money would have to go on Deschamps' men.
There's plenty of niggle going on in the back line there. I think it's Romero trying to wind up Mbappe a little bit.
Play restarts with players having received the treatment that's necessary. Long ball swung forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and Marciniak, the referee, is saying that there's a touch off Romero last. And it's a free kick, a throw taken quickly. Rabiot knocking it inside the penalty area, easily headed away. Argentina looking to break, can't do so. High up and under from Mbappe towards the right hand side of the penalty area for Kingsley Coman, who has scored the winner in the Champions League final in the past. Who, in dark blue or light blue and white, are going to be able to score the winner in this World Cup final. 8 additional minutes to be played, and we're just going into them now. Koundé down the right hand side for Coman, heady touch from him, doesn't break Mbappe's way as it ricocheted off the heels of McAllister in the midfield. France work it forward again. Colin Mouani to Thuram. The offside flags up as Mbappe played it back to Thuram, and it's a free kick to Argentina. 7 minutes of stoppage time to go, and it's 2-2.
Well, this front line now of France look as though they've got movement in them, they got confidence, they got physical prowess, and they look as though they're causing Argentina a big problem at present. And if you had to put your money on any team, you would say the French might be too strong for the Argentinians, but my goodness me, let's just see how it pans out.
Enzo Fernandez working it forward. Argentina trying to get Tagliafico and Acuna operating in tandem down the left hand side. It's overhit for Tagliafico, goes out of play. It's a goal kick which will be taken by Hugo Lloris. 2-2 the scoreline. Messi from the spot on 23, Di Maria on 36. Argentina 2-0 up and coasting into the final 11 minutes. Then Mbappe from the spot on 80, and with a brilliant volley 97 seconds later for 2-2. Mbappe, first player since Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo in 2002, to score twice in a World Cup final. Now Argentina have a free kick to defend as the ball is worked forward towards Thuram. Thuram upended. Molina giving the free kick away. Number 26 on the other. And France have a set piece, and they have the chance to put their noses in front for the first time in the game. 2-2 in Lusail. It had the makings of being a final for the ages. Didn't look as though it was going to go that way. Just looks as though it's going to be a breathtaking performance from Argentina. France somehow have gone to the well and are back in it. Mbappe taking this free kick, didn't get the elevation on it. Everyone for Argentina was back and they could head it away. Now to be cleared down the left flank, and they want a throw. Deschamps acting as the ball boy. He wants as many seconds out of the game as possible, as he knows that his side are the more likely winners at the moment. Argentina might be able to regroup. So the Mount Bayhorst of the Dutch, Kylian Mbappe for France, raising a 2-0 Argentina lead. Argentina still in there fighting. Camavinga doing well to win it back. Stepping up from his left back berth. Oh, he's found Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe bar a deflection over the bar for a corner to France.
It's power play now by the French, looking more physically demanding. They're putting big pressure on Argentina's backline. And Argentina, their strength of their game in the first half and up to 80 minutes was their possession play. They just cannot get hold of the ball at this moment in time.
We're in the 4th minute of stoppage time. France with a third corner, all of which have come in the last few minutes. In it comes, punched away by Emi Martinez. Out as far as Chouameni, scored against England in that quarter-final time. Up country now, Core. Now they'll try and get Kingsley Coman in round the back, and Coman goes down outside the penalty area. Referee plays the advantage. Left-footed shot. Martinez is equal to it, then gathers at the second attempt from the hands of Kolo Muani, and the entire French dugout were off the bench and on the field again. They thought they'd seen an infringement in there. The foul on Coman was outside the penalty area. The referee played a good advantage, and it wasn't a back pass. It came off the upper thigh of Romero for Martinez to be able to handle it. And now Argentina will bring it forward. 2-2 in the World Cup final in the 95th minute. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time to go.
Well, quite often over my career, I would rather be on the pitch. This is an occasion, I think I'm pleased to be up in the stand. You know, both teams don't know whether stick or twist at this moment in time.
It's going to be a yellow card for Olivier Giroud, who's off the field. He's been taken off. He was one of the players hooked off in the last 5 minutes of the first half, but for his protest after that last skirmish inside the Argentinian penalty area, Giroud has now been booked. Play's going to restart with an Argentina throw. 3 minutes of stoppage time remain. Ball is thrown into the feet of Messi, but he's forced to go back outside the penalty area. And Argentina can't string 3 passes together at the moment. And Mbappe has played it through the middle. It's a chance for Kolo Muani. It's a brilliantly timed challenge to knock it away. And Mbappe will try and drive in. Then it's half cleared again. Kolo Muani goes down. He's waved up. Argentina will get it forward. Out of harm's way. Almost to halfway. And still it's 2-2. 3 to go. De Paul for Messi. Has he got one moment of brilliance that can win the World Cup for Argentina? Little pirouette in the midfield. Good ball retention. Works it wide for Acuna. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Acuna, all left foot, got himself into a position for a right-footed shot. Thought better of it. Feeds Tagliafico. Back to the tiring McAllister, who's lost it. Then Tagliafico slides in. It was a poor challenge. Referee says play on. And in fact, he is going to pull it back for a free kick for the foul on Rabiot. Taken quickly by Chouameni. 2-2 here in Lusail. A breathless 15-minute spell after France have got themselves back from a position of no return.
This game has gone from sheer brilliance to a battle of attrition now, Jim. It really has. It's which team won it the most, which team make less mistakes.
Acuna, fall for Julian Alvarez on the edge of the penalty area. De Paul, here's Messi, what a save! Left-footed effort from the edge of the D. Lloris threw himself upwards, tipped it over the bar for a corner.
What a strike. You knew when that ball arrived at his feet he's going to somehow work a shooting effort on his left foot. It's come inside 2 players, smashed it high just above Lloris's head with a bit of zip, a bit of curl, and I've got to say, fantastic save.
Lloris had almost dived past it, such was the curve, but he got a good left hand to it to tip it over the bar. Well, the 4th official indicated 8 extra minutes, and we are in the 8th. It's an Argentina corner. Messi's going to take it, and a goal now surely wins the World Cup. No pressure. 5 in the penalty area, in towards the near post area is half cleared, and the thought of the counter-attack was a significant one. Yellow card is shown to the Argentinian covering defender. It's Acuna. That was a very good one to take, because the counter-attack for France could have caused significant problems.
There's absolutely no chance he was letting that player break on him.
Scythed Coman to the ground. France take the free kick. So we're entirely added on at the end of the extra 8 minutes. Koundé down for Coman. It's 2-2 in the World Cup final, and Coman has got past his man. And he's deceived McAllister, and he gets it in towards the near post, and the clearance hits McAllister. Rebounds to safety for Argentina. Messi will pick it up 10 yards outside his own box and turn. And he's chipped it over the top. Alvarez will chase, and he's going to get there. Left-hand side of the penalty area. And he's got Koundé between him and goal. He's played it in towards Messi, who controls it and flicks it left-footed. It's headed back in by the ball. Messi trying to roll his man, can't get there, and the referee signals the end of the game. 90 quite extraordinary, drama-filled minutes. Argentina breathtaking, and home and hosed with a 2-0 lead with 11 minutes to go. But you cannot reckon without the French resistance. Messi's final, it seemed destined to be. Kylian Mbappe had a say in that, and his brace in the space of 97 seconds takes us to extra time. 2-2 with another 30 minutes to come. And Argentina have made a change. They brought Gonzalo Montiel, the Sevilla right back, on. He has made 3 appearances in this World Cup, 1 start and a couple of sub-apps, and he's come on for Molina. So it's a straight swap at right back. Montiel for Molina. Other than that, it's as you were. France into extra time in a World Cup match for the first time since the 2006 final. Are they going to be able to keep 11 on the field this time? It is the 4th final out of the last 5 to go to extra time. It's the 8th final in total to go to extra time. But of the 7 that have done in the past, only 2 have gone to penalties. Don't get that many games that are sorted in extra time. World Cup finals have tended to be the exception, including the last one that Argentina were in. And they were undone by Mario Götze of the Maracanã. France in all dark blue will kick from right to left in this first period of extra time. We are back underway. Argentina 2, France 2. Argentina have the world in their hands, but have they dropped it? Koundé playing it out to the right flank for Kingsley Coman. Coman on the right, Thuram on the left, Colomboani up top along with Mbappe. It's the front 4 as far as France are concerned. Rabiot and Chouameni in the heart of the midfield, and it is the latter that heads the ball forward there, and then De Paul was caught by Rabiot, and it'll be a free kick which will be taken on the edge of the centre circle by Argentina. 2-2, and here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, if you're France now, as a manager, you're saying to them, more of the same. Get it from back to front as quick as you can, and physically we're stronger than Argentina. Let's roll over the top of them. Argentina need to grapple the game back and get their possession football going again. France for the last 10 minutes or so have knocked them off of their stride, and they need to gain back possession of the ball.
One moment from Nicolas Otamendi has completely changed the night. Diving in, catching Colomboani, and the rest might be French history. We'll wait and see. Another free kick goes Argentina's way. Every game at this World Cup has gone to extra time as needed penalties. Well, the Croatia-Brazil game did see an exchange of goals within extra time. Messi standing over this free kick. Lays it back for Enzo Fernandez. Now down towards Montiel. Montiel Playing it down the right-hand touchline for Rodrigo de Paul. De Paul infield towards Enzo Fernandez again. Fernandez clips it out to the Argentinian left, where it's controlled well by Acuna. Fizzing it across. He was cleared and then broke on the edge of the penalty area for an errant shot from Alexis McAllister that has gone well wide. But the first cross almost found Alvarez, and Argentina trying to be a little bit more proactive at the start of extra time.
Well, it's a super cross in the box, really good left foot, just bending away from the goalkeeper, and Varane, I think it was, that made a wonderful challenge facing back from towards his own goal, just hooked it away and clear.
Clearance comes from our right-hand side from Hugo Lloris. Argentina able to bring it down with McAllister. McAllister with a little 1-2, gets towards the halfway line and very neatly has been able to play into Paul. Paul, Messi to his right-hand side. There's a stumble from Camavinga. Messi's got it right-hand side of the area. Camavinga's recovered brilliantly well. Was then fouled by Messi, and France could have done with the advantage. But that was a great recovery. Camavinga just losing his footing initially, but didn't allow Messi past him and got back on his feet to win possession back.
Yeah, he did. As I say, Messi once again not allowing the counter-attack any way, shape or form. Referee should have just delayed a couple of moments and there would have been a decent advantage to be had.
Rabiot has worked it back for golden boots of Varane. Varane to Koundé. Tchouaméni all the way back for Lloris in fluorescent yellow, controlling it inside his penalty area. Now bringing it forward to the edge of the box. Waits, drives it forward, left-footed. Thuram is his target. He's done well. He's dropped off coming to meet it, but couldn't flick it on to Kylian Mbappe, and it's cleared by Otamendi. French bring it down at the back again with Upamecano. Tchouaméni. Now Camavinga. This is about 10 yards inside the Argentinian half. Interesting to see a possession stat from the moment that France scored their first goal. It could well be about 70-30 in their favour, with Argentina dominating up to that point. South Americans have it again in the midfield, but quickly lose out, and Colin Wiley stopped. I think he thought that he was guilty of perpetrating a foul. Referee didn't, and the play went on, but Argentina quickly got it back. Alvarez hooking it back, played forward out to the left-hand side of the Argentinian midfield, and then all the way back for Emi Martinez, who looks long for Acuna. Acuna going up against Koundé, a little bit of pushing and shoving and backing in, and Koundé ends up on the deck. And Acuna, the guilty party, he's already had a yellow card. I'm not suggesting that that's a yellow card offence, but he has to be careful. And it's a free kick. Now France are going to make another change. And it's Fofana for Rabiot. Rabiot, who'd been struggling with illness over the last few days. He missed the semi-final, you may remember, and he comes off now to be replaced by Fofana, the Monaco midfielder who only made his debut in September, started against Tunisia and in that semi-final against Morocco because of Rabiot's illness, and he comes on for 25 minutes here. It is listed as a concussion substitute. Rabiot, you remember, got a hefty bang on the back of the head a few minutes ago, so he's come off. It's a concussion change, and it's a free kick which will be taken by the French for an infringement there on Camavinga inside Argentinian territory. 6 gone second half, the first half of extra time on TalkSport. Argentina 2, France 2 after 96 minutes.
Yeah, it's gone a little bit cagey now. It's amazing how the stop of play, and the closer we get to penalties, the more cagey the game will become. But from France's point of view, I think that back to front as quick as possible.
Mbappe's onside. Mbappe, having been flagged offside, has now gone down injured. But that's what they need to do, just work it forward as quickly as they can.
I think so, because it served them quite well. I mean, they've near enough got 4 players against 4 in the front line. They've got pace, they've got power, physical presence up there now, and you just as well get the ball backwards. They're not playing through the thirds fantastically well, but they're better off just going back to front.
Those are the thoughts of England legend Stuart Pearce, part of the commentary team here at Lusail. 2-2 the scoreline in the 2022 World Cup final. Enzo Fernandez for Argentina. He's got Montiel in space. He's played it in towards the Paul to Messi. In between the lines again. This is better from Argentina. And much more reminiscent of the football we saw from them in the first half. Sent out wide towards the left-hand side. Tagliafico with the cross. Might break on the edge of the area for De Paul. And Messi underneath it. De Paul clipping it in. And it gets away from McAllister and curves past everybody for a goal kick, which will be taken by Hugo Lloris away to our right. We're midway through that first period of extra time. No addition to the scoring. 2-2 it remains on TalkSport.
The emotions of this game, Jim, I'm just going to throw a couple of things out there. The mentality of the Argentinian players, 2-0 up, absolutely dominating the game, think you're over the line. The French, why were we so bad for 80 minutes? Why were we that bad? And put yourself in the shoes of Dembele. He's watching the game now, delighted that his team are back in it, but he's thinking to himself, how can I have played so badly and handed the game to Argentina?
Come back to that point in a moment. France are on the front foot with Coman trying to get inside the area. It was an awkward defensive header, but a safe one from Romero. Martinez could trot outside his 6-yard box to claim it before it went over the line and out for a corner. When you're 2-0 up with 9-10 minutes to go and it then goes to extra time, how do you cope with that mentally? How easy is it to effectively start afresh? Think, well, we're not trailing, we've just got extra time, we've potentially got penalties, but when you've had the World Cup in your hands, how do you cope with that?
Well, you've almost got to departmentalise it a little bit and just turn around and say, look, we're still in the game, we're still even Stevens.
Here's Colin Moani towards the edge of the penalty area here for France, but Argentina are going to be able to win it cleanly and get it away again. Played down the right-hand touchline, but away from Messi and picked up by Camavinga.
But you've only got to look at the French, and they're the ones with the energy at the moment. Psychologically, it plays a big part on you.
Well, they've already lost it once, effectively nothing to lose now. Mbappe will try to make a marauding run inside the penalty area, twisting and taking a circuitous route, but Argentina can get it away. Still got it in the right back position, but under a little bit of pressure from Upamecano. Alvarez was hoping that the referee would bail him out, and he hasn't, and then Montiel has been forced to sweep Upamecano's legs away from him, and it's a free kick to France down by the left-hand touchline.
Yeah, as I say, once again, poor referee. Players just made no attempt whatsoever to challenge his player, just pushed him to the ground. When he got the other side of him, referee, no yellow card. But great opportunity for France, who are loading the box up at this moment in time with some big physical presence.
Kingsley Coman stands over this free kick, but making a run in towards the near post. Argentina make first contact. It's cleared out to the edge of the box. Right-footed effort from Upamecano, went through a crowd of players, and it's screwed off to the left-hand side of the box. Well, Messi's forced to come back and concede a corner. It is all France with 100 gone at 2-2.
Well, the one thing you would say at this moment in time, Jim, the next goal wins this game, I think, even with 20-odd minutes left.
Coman to take the corner. And again, Argentina make first contact. Comes out to the edge of the penalty area for Fofana. Right-footed ball is then swept inside the box. Thuram going up for it. But the men in blue and white can deal with the threat. And again, try and win a free kick. The referee has stopped play for an offside. Not for a potential infringement outside the box, but he's pulled it back for an offside in the previous phase of play. So it's a free kick that Argentina will take inside their own penalty area. 2-2 with 4 to go in this first period of extra time in the 2022 FIFA World Cup final. Argentina 2-0 up and coasting. They've blown the lead. Mbappe bracing double quick time. Montiel working it forward. Camavinga again doing well to defend. It's going to be a double Argentinian change very short. I think Paredes is going to be coming on. Argentina one possession back. McAllister, who may well be coming off, has been caught from behind there by Colin Moani. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Argentina. McAllister has tired. He was absolutely tremendous for an hour. But has tired a little bit. So he's going to be one of the players coming off. The first one coming off is De Paul. So Paredes for De Paul. And Lautaro Martinez for Alvarez. So McAllister stays out there. Paredes for DePaul in midfield. Lautaro Martinez for Alvarez up front. Well, a few people thought that he might be the Golden Boot winner. Lautaro Martinez at this World Cup, he hasn't scored. But if he can score a goal in the 17-18 minutes he's on the pitch today, then he will have hero status forevermore. Argentina take a free kick on halfway. They work it back for Romero. Romero to Otamendi. And the two centre-halves just exchange passes again. Stuart, what are your thoughts on those two changes?
Well, in all honesty, I don't know whether they're changes to attempt to win the game, changes to block the game up, or changes for the fact it might go to penalties. It's really difficult one to decode, if I'm being honest. Or just a physical, just to put some fresh legs on there. These got to be tired boys. Bear in mind, what are they, 7 games in at the moment in a short space of time?
Well, you might have hit the nail on the head in terms of the penalties, because Paredes and Lautaro Martinez have both taken successful penalties in the 2 shootouts that Argentina have had over the last 16-17 months or so. They certainly will be in the batting order in the top 5. Here is Paredes, who won his 50th cap the other night, played forward through the midfield for Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez looks up, sees where his options are. Messi being detailed by Koundé, so he works it back for Paredes. And Paredes playing almost the centre-half. That's a great ball forward from him. Left-hand side of the penalty area, Acuna couldn't replicate the quality of the pass that had found it. And off balance, he's mishit across straight over Lloris's bar and out of play for a goal kick. A minute until half-time and extra time.
Yeah, some ball there from Paredes, I think it was, Jim, wasn't it? Incredible ball into Acuna, but the trouble was it wasn't Di Maria, and since that substitution, which was a defensive one, which I could quite understand, they've not been able to have that outlet on the left-hand side to hurt France.
Well, France have never come back from a 2-goal deficit to win or draw in World Cup history. Is today the day? McAllister back through the midfield again. McAllister to Messi. We're just waiting for Thuram to come and make a challenge. Messi just lending the ball to McAllister. Messi taking it on. Lautaro Martinez with a right-footed effort that is blocked. Montiel with a right-footed rasping drive that's headed over the bar by Varane and out of play for a corner.
I'm finding myself almost shouting to the Argentinian players, just give it to Messi and something will happen, and it did. Incredible. Picks the ball up, it's a little give and go, and it's a chain of events that start to happen. And I've got to say, a great block, and then Varane, a great block from the secondary.
Yeah, Upamecano with the first one. Argentina have a corner, their first for a while, as we go into 1 minute of added time at the end of the first period of extra time. It's about this time that Brazil scored against Croatia in the quarterfinals. In comes the corner, very deep from Messi. It bounces inside the penalty area, but he won't be touched by any of the players until it's well outside the box. When the touch does come in, all Enzo Fernandez can do is steer it off the island and put it out of play, stop Chouamani breaking quickly. 2-2. And the chances coming with an increasing regularity. Argentina with a better spell the last 3 or 4 minutes. There's a good ball on the top. Lautaro Martinez past the goalkeeper and wide. And he was onside. He's claiming a deflection. Well, the referee has given a goal kick, but he's got in behind the French back line. Upamecano playing him onside. He hit it hurriedly and stabbed it wide of the near post. Past Lloris, who was stranded, and wide, and France survived.
French back line showing the same frailties once again that they did for the first 70-odd minutes.
Well, Argentina hoping for a repeat of 1986. It is half-time in extra time. Argentina 2 up in the 86 final. West Germany made it 2-2. Argentina then scored a winner. They need a similar script this time around as we change things around in extra time at 2 apiece. So we're back underway. Both sides, incidentally, have got 2 changes left at their disposal. France have brought on 5 players, but one of them was a concussion sub. Argentina have brought on 4, so they can still make a couple of changes apiece. Paredes, one of the players that, as we were saying a few minutes ago, has been brought on with penalties in mind, but has already played one sublime through ball. He's just worked it forward down the left-hand side here for Argentina's Acuna. He's been kept in. Tagliafico laying it back for McAllister. Argentina could give him right to left and make a good headway towards the edge of the French penalty area. Messi, good ball from him. Right footed, clipped in by Montiel, but he got his angles wrong. And he sends it skying straight out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Hugo Lloris. 106 minutes gone. And still, the most significant, dramatic moment of the night lies ahead of us, Stuart.
It certainly does. You're just playing on memory at the moment. If you're out there and one of the players, you're physically drained, you're mentally drained, and you've just got to find something. As a defender, you're thinking, just don't make a mistake in this. As a striker, you're thinking, someone just give me a sniff of goal and I could be a hero.
Well, Mbappe, we'll see the headlines writ large if he can score again. He's got two. He's got his side back into it. Argentina on the front foot again. Lloris scrambling to the left edge of his penalty area. Off balance on the slide. He punched the ball clear from Montiel and puts it out of play for a throw. Argentina have started the second period of extra time brightly. 2 minutes into it, it's 2-2. Argentina 2 up with 10 minutes of normal time to go. 2-2 it is now. Left footed shot. Lloris beats it away. And then a clumsy challenge from Upamecano. Not even the Argentinian fans behind the goal really appealed for that. And it's a goal kick of Messi striking it sweetly. Left-footed, on target, but just a low daisy cutter. And Lloris made the save.
Yeah, officials just worked out when the goalkeeper saves it and it goes behind the goal. Should be a corner. They give a corner. He give a goal kick, then he give a corner. Now he's give a goal kick again, from what I can gather.
They've settled on goal kick. Lloris is going to take it away to our left. Penalties very much on the agenda, but such has been the tempestuous nature of this World Cup, where stories have been written and then ripped up again just moments later, that you wonder what late drama is still to ensue. Here's Messi. Oh, clever play. Right hand side of the penalty area. Lloris makes a save. It's tapped in by Messi. It's over the line. But is there an offside? The flag initially goes up on the far touchline. Referee signal the goal. Messi, inevitably. Who else could it possibly be? Argentina 3, France 2. If it stands. It was a through ball to Fernandez that might have been the moment. And the French players are surrounding the referee. 2 or 3 of them with their arms up. And they're sensing that it should be offside. We'll see it now as it's played forward. A little clever layoff. And he's onside. It's going to count. Shot coming in. Lloris beating it away. And Lionel Messi has just written his own piece of history.
Well, Messi was off from the initial one, but he didn't have any contact on the ball, and subsequently as play built up, really good play, it had to be that man, Messi, on the end of it to tap it over the line, and the World Cup that just keeps giving.
The goal stands, the celebrations are ecstatic, and Lionel Messi might just have won the World Cup for Argentina with his right foot. In the 109th minute, Messi bundling it in after Lautaro Martinez's effort was too hot to handle. They blew a 2-0 lead, but they lead again. And Lionel Messi's 98th international goal is the one for which he will always be remembered. If, and it is a big if, they can keep things tight for the last 10 minutes this time.
Well, the French have got to find another power play. never mind knocking it around the back. They've got to go from back to front, surround the ball and put some real pressure on this back line of Argentina that have only really suffered a little bit when teams have done that against them, a la the Dutch and France. Since probably halfway through the first half extra time, France have taken their foot off the gas and Argentina has certainly had the best opportunities, including the goal.
Well, Lautaro Martinez was played onside by Varane. Varane looks as though he's struggling. He seemed to be in a dialogue with the French bench that he needed to come off. Messi celebrating with a punch of the air with his right fist, with tears in his eyes. He knows what he's just done. He's potentially won the World Cup for Argentina. They're in the exact same position that they were, half an hour ago. They're 9 minutes from time with a 1-goal lead. Will France be able to respond this time? Little ricochet as two Argentinian players went for the same ball. He's come off Paredes back towards his edge of his own penalty area. Hammered clear by the French. Varane, who's very much a passenger, he's hobbling. He headed it across the edge of his own penalty area, but it was swept back to Lloris. Well, they can take Varane off. They do have options, and they're going to be making a change very shortly. Canate will come on for him. But they've got to make sure that the deficit is only one, because Varane really struggling. And he's the last man here. Lautaro Martinez trying to play on his shoulder. Argentina play it forward into Martinez. Martinez spinning Varane, who just almost playing from memory, played it down towards the corner flag. Now side foots it clear and stays down. And France should be able to make the change and get him off the field. And indeed they can. Canate for Varane is France's penultimate change.
Varane's pain then, he was running because he had to, he had no choice, but he's finished. To be fair, he fell over the touchline behind the goal and I can't see him coming back. The pain is etched all over his face. I don't know what injury he's done to himself.
Well, that could have implications, of course, for Manchester United. In action Wednesday night in the Carabao Cup 4th round tie live on TalkSport. Not that Varane would have been playing in that anyway, but we've got it for you on TalkSport. 7 minutes to go in the World Cup final. It's Argentina 3, France 2. It's been a classic. It hasn't panned out anything like you would have imagined. 2-0. Argentina blew the 2-goal lead, but now have their noses in front. And of course it was Lionel Messi. Acuna down by the corner flag. Lautaro Martinez is there. Acuna has been a bit disingenuous there. His claim that was a corner, he knew it wasn't. It's a goal kick. He hands the ball to the referee, knowing that the multi-ball system would see the goal kick taken quickly behind him. The referee took the ball and drop-kicked it off the field. And meanwhile, France break with Camavinga completely upended. And the referee's going to come across and take action. And there's a very angry reaction over there. I think it's Paredes with the challenge. Camavinga has stayed down. And Paredes leaning over Camavinga may well have said something as well. French players quickly on the scene, trying to pull Paredes away. Assistant referee sprinted on. It's going to be a yellow card, shown by referee Marciniak. Camavinga's back on his field. Back on his feet, he's okay. And Paredes is booked.
I've got to say, on first viewing of that, I thought he should be walking, but maybe it wasn't as volatile as it certainly looked.
Free kick to the French as they look for another equaliser. Pushing and shoving edge of the box involving Canate. It's not clear. France have it again. Koundé just in for the right-hand touchline. Saul Chouameni short. Koundé's got it again. Left-footed ball. Hooked forward. Canate still forward. Taking it down towards the dead ball line. Has he got a cross in him? He's done the next best thing. He's won a corner, and France with another opportunity to get back into this game at 3-3. Kingsley Coman will sprint over, but Argentina are going to make a change first, and McAllister now comes off, and he'll be replaced by Pesela, another centre-half. So they're going to go 5 at the back to protect the lead this time. Germán Pesela came off the bench against both Poland and the Netherlands. Former Fiorentina player who now plays his club football with Betis, and he comes on for Brighton's Alexis McAllister, who's 5 minutes away from being a World Cup winner. 3-2 to Argentina, but France have a corner, and Argentina bring another centre-half on to defend it.
Well, if you're France, this will be a very short 5 minutes. If you're an Argentinian, it'll take a lifetime.
Corner from Coman. It's a right-footed away swinger towards the penalty spot. Upamecano with a header. Shot from the edge of the penalty area has hit an arm, and it's a free kick right on the edge of the box.
I think he's given a penalty.
Is it in? Is it out? It is in. Mbappe with a right-footed shot, and it cannoned off the arm of Montiel. He gets a yellow card, and France have an opportunity from the penalty spot to tie it up at 3-3. And Kylian Mbappe has the opportunity for a World Cup hat-trick in the final to emulate Sir Geoff Hurst.
Well, firstly, I'd love to see a replay of that. I thought it was a little bit harsh at first. The elbow was raised slightly. Was he in or was he out the box? Probably just in. There's got to be a twist and a turn in this, Jim. This is incredible.
Geoff Hurst, the only man to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final, in English football's most famous of days. Can Kylian Mbappe emulate that same feat 56 years on and keep France in the final and keep them with a chance of retaining the World Cup? Right-footed, he's hit it into the bottom left-hand corner. Mbappe has a hat-trick. He has his place in history. And France have drawn deep from the well again. Another equaliser 4 minutes from the end of extra time. Penalties back on the agenda after Mbappe keeps his nerve. It's Argentina 3, France 3, and to their eternal credit, they simply never know when they are beaten.
It's like reading a classic book, this, where you think you know what the last page is going to look like, and then all of a sudden there's a twist, there's a turn, and it's still all to play for. We're a couple of minutes off from the end of the game, and we still none the wiser who's going to take this World Cup home. Brilliant, brilliant spectacle.
Every goal Mbappe has scored in this World Cup have come in the final half hour of games, including a hat-trick tonight. Argentina 3, France 3. Argentina bring it forward again. They've got 2.5 minutes of extra time to retake the lead. But France win it back, and Camavinga will bring it forward. Paredes has done well to romp in. Here come Argentina again towards the edge of the penalty area. Acuna sliding in with his left foot. And France get it half clear. But Argentina once more with Acuna. Wins the corner. Flights it across, that hits Kunde and goes wide of the near post and out of play for a corner, and Messi will come across to take it, and by the time he has taken it, we will be in the final minute of extra time. There's going to be time to be added on, but we are in the 120th minute. Argentina 3, France 3, one of the best World Cup finals in history. Messi taking it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Heads went up, but nobody could get a contact. Romero threw himself at it, and it's hammered clear by the French, but out of play for an Argentina throw over on the far touchline. Can they launch one last meaningful attack? Trying to get the ball round the back of Camavinga. Montiel is in there. Camavinga has defended it well. He's done well coming on at left back. And a chance to bring it away again for the French. Argentina want to make one more change. France will have it with Kylian Mbappe. Right-footed ball swept inside the penalty area. Colomboane with the header. and it's gone just wide. Martinez scrambling, thought he was beaten, couldn't get anything on it, but in the end he didn't need to. It was a close run thing, but Colin Moani, had he made any kind of contact there, would have won the World Cup for France.
Well, the world just stopped still in footballing terms. A great ball in swinging, stayed in the air for an absolute eternity, and any touch, as you rightly say, ends up in the back of the net. No touch at all of a sudden we thought that was in the back of the net, but no.
3 minutes of added time to be played at the end of this 15-minute period of extra time. France have made a change, their final one, Dizazi for Koundé, which will be with the penalty shootout in mind, I've got no doubt. Argentina preparing to bring Dybala on. Are they going to do it now, or are they going to wait? No, they are going to do it now. So Dybala comes on. And that's Argentina's final change. He's replaced Tagliafico. Acuna drops back in at left back. So that's again a change made with the impending penalty shootout in mind. So 3 minutes to play from here. 3-3 the score. And here is Dybala. Dybala clipping it down the left-hand touchline. And a challenge from Canate was a rumbustious one. Lautaro Martinez took it in the spirit in which it was intended. Back on his feet, throw to Argentina. Messi with a hat-trick to win it in the extra time at the end of stoppage time. Well, you couldn't bet against it. This World Cup has just had everything. And still we don't know. We're no closer to knowing who's going to win it. Acuna on the left-hand touchline, try the turn, get away from Coleman, uses the full width of the pitch and squeezes it up the line. Dybala then trying to play it forward, sliding challenge, knocks it away. Hammered high up in the air by Paredes, brought down on the right foot intelligently, flicked over the top by Messi. Lautaro Martinez may get there first, still he might get there, tries to look it past Lloris, who came out, but the flag was up against him, and it wouldn't have counted anyway. 3-3 and penalties just 90 seconds away.
Well, we're staring down the barrel of penalties and still chance after chance keep becoming available. What a spectacle this has been.
Lloris to take the free kick. It's 3 apiece. Ball headed away by the Argentinian back line, then flicked over the top, and Colin Moani is in! And it's a magnificent save from Emi Martinez. Came out and made himself big, got his fight to it. Colin Moani rattling it goal bound. And Emi Martinez makes the save, and now the break is on at the other end. France struggling to get bodies back. Lautaro Martinez heads it wide. What a chance. One for Colin Moani, one for Lautaro Martinez. And Martinez has walked onto that 8 yards out, and the ball's hit him and gone wide. But what a save from Emi Martinez. And he's just kept Argentina in the World Cup.
Well, at both ends, gilt-edged chances. The best one falling to the French. But just when you're trying to get your head round someone giving a chance away like that, it goes right the other end and someone else gets a chance. Unbelievable.
3.5 minutes of added time played. Another 20 seconds maybe. Martinez losing out, Fernandez losing out, Chouamani winning it back for the French, firing it over the top, and Mbappe chasing it, but he's very wide, down by the left-hand touchline. Will get there first, and try and carve inside the penalty area, get away from Romero. Round 1, round 2, and just as he was preparing to pull the trigger for what would have been one of the great World Cup goals, it's knocked away from him off his toes and out of play for a throw to France, but there won't be time to take. 120 plus, pulsating, breathtaking, barnstorming, extraordinary minutes. where the scriptwriters have certainly done their job, conjuring up a conclusion to the second half of normal time and then a period of extra time that almost defied belief. But the main protagonists have made their own pieces of history. 2 for Messi, a hat-trick for Kylian Mbappe. It's a day that has seen 3 penalties and a World Cup final hat-trick, but we've got a penalty shootout to come. Argentina 3, France 3. Who is going to be lifting the most famous trophy in the world? We'll find out together in the next 15 minutes. Messi or Mbappe, who's your money on? Simply extraordinary. Argentina twice have been in a position to win the World Cup. Twice they've blown it. Is it going to be France's day, or will Argentina be able to get themselves ahead again in the shootout? Well, all 5 of Argentina's penalty takers against the Dutch in the quarter-final are on the field. It's going to be Mbappe that will go first here for France, and he scores the 3rd time that he's put a penalty past Emi Martinez today. So France score their first one. France have lost their last 2 shootouts to Switzerland in the round of 16 of the last Euros, where Mbappe had the decisive miss. Also to Italy in the 2006 World Cup final, when Trezeguet missed their 2nd kick. Argentina have got a good record in shootouts. They've won 5 out of 6 and have beaten the Dutch in the quarterfinals. Now Messi has taken the first penalty in each of Argentina's last 7 shootouts, and he's scored 6 of them. And he's going to go first for Argentina. Mbappe scoring France's first. Messi to score Argentina's first, and he's rolled it so calmly. He was so slow. Lloris committed himself. He almost had time to jump back the other way and save it, but after 1 penalty apiece, it is 1-1.
Well, both the Golden Gooses for each team have done their part. It's down to the rest of the team now, all the goalkeepers, to become a hero. I'll tell you what, just looking at the first penalty, and Martinez was very, very unfortunate. Got a very, very strong hand on Mbappe's.
Say 5 of his 10 penalties in shootouts. Make that 6 out of 11, because he's dived to his right and saved from Kingsley Coman. He has an extraordinary record of being able to deal with the pressure of penalty shootouts. And he took a big step, a legitimate step to his right, made the save. Coman denied. And Martinez has just conjured up a massive moment. So it's advantage Argentina if Dybala can put this one away.
Jim, on what we've seen over the last 2 hours, there'll be a twist and turn or 2 still to come.
Dybala against Lloris, left-footed, and it's gone straight down the middle as Lloris dived to his left. So after 2 penalties apiece, it's advantage Argentina, but when have we said that before over the course of the night? And Dybala's only just got away with that, by the way. It's so nearly hit Lloris's foot on its way to the net.
I'll tell you what, Lloris is committed to go to his left, and then all of a sudden he's realised it was going down the middle, and just the pain itched on his face where he's trying to put the brakes on.
Tchouaméni going up next for France. Forced to retrieve the ball from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Now he strides nervously, puts the ball down on the penalty spot. Simon Marciniak makes sure it's legitimately placed. Takes a 4-step run up here. Tchouaméni, right-footed. Oh, he's put it wide. He's missed. Martinez dived the right way. The ball, I think, hitting the outside of the post on its way through. Tchouaméni misses, and Argentina are nearly there. Martinez didn't get anything on it. He didn't need anything on it. France have scored 1 of 3. Argentina have got both of theirs. And here comes Paredes, who who scored the third one in the Copa America semi-final against Colombia, who scored the second one against the Dutch in the World Cup quarter-final. Referee blows his whistle. Paredes with a long wait. He's going to hit this right-footed against Lloris. Past him. And it's 3-1 Argentina. They're within touching distance.
Well, certainly Martinez has put his team in pole position here in this penalty shootout. And after the last miss from France, he was doing some, dad dancing for the best part of it. Last time I saw that was about 4 days ago with Declan McCarthy and Alex Crook on the dance floor in the G Lounge.
He was straight out of the Alan Pardew school.
I tell you what, Martinez knows all the tricks of the trade, and this referee's got to get to grips with this. I mean, he should have booked him probably 2 penalties ago for gamesmanship.
Well, he has now produced a yellow card. Kolo Muani has to score. Right-footed, he has scored. And France are still in there. But only just. It's a night where the French have conjured up 2 miracles, but they now need a third. 3-2 down, and Argentina have a penalty in hand. And if this goes in, they are the world champions. And coming forward to take it is Gonzalo Montiel. Montiel, who went third in the quarter-final and scored. And if he can replicate that here, it is Argentina's night. The Roar will let you know if he scores. He's going to hit it right-footed. Argentina are the champions of the world! Montiel with a decisive kick. Lionel Messi pens the ultimate ecstatic chapter to complete his already extraordinary story. Such has been the effect of the world's best player, his countrymen, and now the world's best team. Tonight, the crowning glory, the ultimate, the prize of all prizes, delivered to his nation, as it was by Maradona before him. Messi's messianic status may be long established, the hero worship commonplace, but now to the adoration and celebration and coronation. Messi, mesmeric and magical, magisterial. 2 goals tonight, just 5'7", but the giant of his generation, a footballing colossus who's now won the lot. And you have to feel sorry for France, and you have to feel sorry for Kylian Mbappe, scorer of a hat-trick in a World Cup final, but ends up on the losing side. No fairy tale comeback for him, despite the magnificent resistance. 2 down with 10 minutes to go. They came back to 2-2. A goal down with 3 minutes to go to an extra time. They came back to book a shootout. Mbappe, nerveless, but let down by his teammates from the spot. Because this is Argentina's night. The moment all the sweeter for the agonies and frustrations that have punctuated the past. 36 years after their last success, it's Argentina who have won the World Cup. Messi's swan song, a night his countrymen will never, ever forget.